Apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Don't mess up the ring. Go to Moyer Fine Jewelers in Carmel. They only sell natural diamonds, hand-selected at competitive prices. Mention JMV for $500 off your engagement ring through Christmas Eve.
No matter where you're headed, it's nice to know Hubler's got you covered for 200,000 miles. Visit drivehubler.com or any of the 13 Hubler locations.
From the drivehubler.com studios, this is 93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
WIBC HD2, HD3, Indianapolis.
And here we go.
You really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Hey, motherfucker. What do you like to do? Oh, I don't know. Play chess. Screw. Well, let's play chess.
They give off to Jonathan Taylor. Jump cutting his way. Close to the goal line. He's in there. Touchdown. I-N-D-Y. Jonathan Taylor. Wheeler finds Quan from the logo.
Here's Halliburton into the front court. Mishandled it, but gets a shot. Hits it. Hits it.
John, I have never been better to be on the air with you here in Indianapolis, a place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV on 93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
Hey, I know it's a Wednesday, and we have a long way to go before Monday, the next time the Colts play. But if you hear people talking out there, and a number of people have contacted me about this and have suggested that the tickets are not very valuable for the Niners on Monday night. So that would lead me to this. And then somebody yesterday had suggested that I'm Debbie Downer. And I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer. I'm trying to be a reasonable thinker. Fair and balanced dude. And I know a lot of people suggest fair and balanced, and then a lot of people not so much. But do you view this game Monday night? Is this just a throw-in end of season, meaning you believe this team is absolutely done? Even though if you could put something together, you could still punch your way in. So I guess what I'm saying on this Wednesday in studio, I really forgot to shoot a video. I was with Hammer and Nigel for a little bit, and you know what that means. And then came in here, and I forgot to shoot a video of what is slowly coming together here in studio. And I do love the new look here, and it's ever evolving. But I also love being out, which we will be out coming up in the next 2 days. And I'm going to thank everybody for joining me yesterday on a Tuesday in Greenwood, which was outstanding. But what was top of mind for me is whether or not you believe that this thing is done, that it's a foregone conclusion, it's over. And with it being inevitable, this team once again being left out of the postseason, are you done with it? It is weird. This team, 7-1. Everybody was feeling good. You know, you get that second loss, but you still feel compelled to make a deal for Sauce Gardner because of how you felt about this team. And even before the quarterback went down for the season, this thing was already swirling. And I mean swirling the drain. And here we are in the same set of circumstances as we've been prior. So I want to know if, I guess what I'm asking, have you guys given up on this? Is there no light at the end of the tunnel? Because I really don't want to have to start talking about the offseason because, logically speaking, I don't have a lot of answers. I don't have a lot of answers because everybody, when you don't end up living up to expectations, which if you're down on them or done with them right now, you do not feel they're going to be able to do that. So if you don't live up to expectations, then the expectation from you is going to be of change, even if we haven't seen that in the past. You know, what logical change could happen? Is everybody front office-wise, coaching-wise, going to lose their job because of the way the things that went? If Carly Ursay Gordon doesn't make any moves, does that mean that, again, it's surviving and, Chris Ballard's finding a way to move on to another year when he doesn't deserve it? Shane Steichen the same way. I've mentioned this before. This is really the last way I want to see this team go out. For one, I want to see a postseason game. I want to go at least one more time in the postseason, for example, with the Colts pregame huddle, or be out a couple of different times, because as you notice, I love being out on location, and that stuff slows down whenever the football season is over. And unfortunately for the Colts, it has been far too familiar that the football season has been over when the postseason begins. And that sucks. It sucks for a variety of ways. And it really sucks is because not only past this do you not see what is logically any sort of breakthrough, or as you would like to put it, light at the end of the tunnel, but it looks even further past that in a league in which you should be allowed to break through, because year to year you never really know. That's not been the forte of the Colts. I mean, they've been more reminiscent of those Bengals seasons and teams that we made fun of in the past than, what is noted for a breakthrough type of campaign that would lead to something, anything, in resemblance of the teams that you've known around here in the past. So you guys all asked me regarding the falling in ticket prices and the easily available tickets for Monday night. Just think about what we thought 2 months ago about this game and how valuable it was going to be, and hopefully springboarding in, and what you felt about the Niners at that time compared to what you thought about the Colts. And you look around the AFC playoff landscape, and the Colts were at the top of the heap. And it's certainly been more than just the quarterback. And then you start thinking about, so what does happen in the offseason? And obviously what comes to the forefront is most noticeably going to be that of the quarterback position. But what about the other assets, the older assets, the veteran assets, knowing what you know without, having the first rounders in the next 2 seasons? You jettison, in this case, some vets. And again, it also leads you to wonder, and the performance hasn't been what it once was, much like this team early on with Jonathan Taylor in mind. I think we all still understand that he is the most valuable player outside of, the quarterback playing at a high level, the most valuable on this team. But if you've noticed, it's almost like in the past, as the season gets older and we get into the final month, the numbers for Jonathan Taylor also fade. And it does go back to when I talk about this team is so much better when it's seemingly on cruise control. It's like this old school video game reference right here from Old Guy 5-6. Thank you very much. It's like you're playing pole position and you're on that easy track. But when you start having curves and bumps in the road, or dudes start trying to cross in front of you, or there's cows running out of whatever, that's outrun. When that starts happening, that's when things fall apart. And you do just kind of sit around and you wait for things to fall apart. And here's where we are right now. You had last week one of the more interesting, if not the most interesting storylines going in the NFL, the return of a 44-year-old quarterback, a future Hall of Famer, that's decided to reset his Hall of Fame clock to return to a team where he once played, and was really, let's face it, part of the reason as to why they are where they are right now is because he didn't go for year number 2. I don't know how that would have worked out, but clearly it probably would have worked out better than, as we look right now, with hindsight being 2020, than it has. Probably worked out a lot better, didn't it? Yeah, I know, too. And you make a great argument regarding Carson Wentz. Yeah, Carson Wentz, you could take the entirety of the Wentz season all the way up until the final 2 weeks. If you could minus that, that's a feel good, but it always happens around here in December. Sometimes you're not in position to do anything, so you just sit back and wait on it. But other times you have been in position and you've just faded away. God, not being able to close, it is of epidemic proportions with this team and this organization. Not being able to close. And we oftentimes can come up with excuse after excuse as to why it consistently occurs, but there are common denominators. There are common threads here. And I think that's the most frightening portion of it. You just always expect this El Foldo or this fade, if you will. And unfortunately, that's where you find this team right now going into Monday night, the value of the ticket, the caring about the game. Because I say this all the time, and you're going to say, well, you come at it from a promotional angle because you and Kyle Kanell and Bullseye and, you do the Colts pregame show from Touchdown Town. Well, sure. But as you know me, I'm very real about this. I'm out there to have some fun. And as always, it is a hell of a lot more fun when you're winning. Let's gauge the amount of fun you're having, for example, watching the Pacers now compared to when you watched them in May and in June. That's easy. It's just a hell of a lot more fun. Yeah, think about how you felt about the Colts. I mean, I know you're apprehensive about the believability of it early on, but you kind of got used to it, right? In the first 2 weeks, first 2 months in this case of the season. Now it's drastically different. So no, there's not something where you want to focus in on the negativity. The problem is the negativity of where we are right now never seemingly gets out of the way. We're always ultimately running into it. And that to me is incredibly problematic. And again, think about this. You go from the story, the lead story of the NFL last week, to really an afterthought coming up on Monday regarding Phillip Rivers. You don't hear anything about it now. Okay, well, he's going to start again. Great. Because when you look back on it, he put them in position as the quarterback, but also held them back because his limitations are such as the quarterback. And you won't even recognize the fact that this team sits upon an opportunity. And I know I'm not smoking anything. Sometimes it's kind of wondersome if I drank something, but I didn't. I haven't smoked anything or drank anything, as you know. But, what are you talking about thinking they can win the Final Three? I don't think they can win the Final Three, but if you do the math, which a lot of you nerds like to do, if you do the math, you win the Final Three, or hell, in this case, if you crunch some numbers, if you do the 2 out of the last 3, you can easily make it in. But we're in the world of no hope right now. And constantly trying to see if this team can prove their way out of it. And again, one of the defining portions of the Ballard era and the past 3 now seasons with Shane Steichen at the helm is a late season fold. Look at Shane Steichen's numbers in December. Look at Shane Steichen's numbers against Jacksonville and Houston. And especially late in the season, this team just goes away. Even his best player, Jonathan Taylor, goes away. For all the love and all the heap that I had for MVP, where's that conversation now gone? Always late in the season. I know the focus a year ago was the handling of the football crossing the goal line and not happening in Denver and that loss and how costly it was. But, again, that's just a symptom as a part of the epidemic right here. You can't count on this team, and you certainly can't count on this team late. And evidently, you guys with Monday night in mind feel relatively the same about that. At least what people might be telling me about the ticket prices, the ticket availability, and the overall interest with a team that if you're a couple of wins away, if you are still in control, if you win 2 of 3, you're going to need some help. If you win 3 of 3, you are in control. But the act right now is of such that the fan base believes this thing is over. So I'll get your thoughts on that at 239-1070. The text line is wide open at 317-239-1070 as well. James is over there. Good to see my good friend Nathaniel hanging out over there in studio as well. He worked and did a great job for Jake and his 3-hour tour a little bit earlier. Again, we are at our new studios downtown. Good to see you, brother. About a mile north of our old studios. It was interesting yesterday. I had a blast. It was great to see everybody out there. Thank you all for joining me as we're at Twin Peaks in Greenwood. But even more so, the one thing about this show that I like is, and I think that sometimes people view that as a negative. You know, people, I think, oftentimes out there, you just kind of want 3 hours of the bombastic, jackassic type of approach, and that's really not me. I just like to have a good time. And going out and having a good time is at the forefront. That's my label. And yesterday was such on a Tuesday. But, man, you guys were great. Never thought when I go back as a teenager and think about 56 years of age, like these visions pop in my head. It's like Archie Bunker, Carol O'Connor. I think about Wilford Brimley in their 50s, 56 years of age. You can't be me, right? And my reflection, I'm hooping until 11 o'clock last night, feeling really good. Is there a new 56? What's the new 56 in age? Do we have a new 56? Are we back now 15 to 20 years? It used to be, the new 56 is, 46 or 46, whatever. Or am I just 5'6" and just behave like I'm 1'6"? Out of curiosity. But, man, it was great. Great time with you yesterday. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. You guys are way too kind with your words, but I thoroughly enjoy it, and I enjoy this time every single day that we have to talk about subjects like this. I just wish it was a little bit brighter, because we should be. I think that you are, much like a year ago, you were owed with the Pacers. You're kind of owed this. And I say this all the time. You're owed this as the fans, the advertisers that have stuck around. I mean, they've been owed this, and you got it in the first 2 months of the season only to find that niche that has been unbecoming of this team, this organization for a number of years now. It is fading into oblivion. And that's exactly what they're doing right now. And I cannot tell if this is a team that has stunk the entire year or a team that nobody believes in right now that still has an opportunity to punch a ticket. And really, all it takes is you win a couple at home. And even in that, you get a little bit of help and see what happens. But it doesn't seem as daunting as everybody believes it to be right now. But again, maybe that's because we're thinking about this team as it was, as it looked in September and October, and not right now. College basketball conversation, bottom of the hour. The former Hoosier coach Tom Crean will join us. Cannot wait for that. Both IU and Purdue. I know Purdue gets Auburn coming up this weekend. The Hoosiers, I think Chicago State coming up this weekend as well. We'll talk about that, especially in the Big Ten. A team like Michigan with Dusty May. Yeah, a great start. And again, around here, I think everybody understands what a great start looks like. But can you middle the way and then close in conference play as Dusty May's team has as well? And I don't know if anybody has noticed Fred Hoiberg and Nebraska and what the Cornhuskers are doing for the first time ever in basketball. Certainly in the Big Ten, but for the first time ever in basketball. And we'll talk about that and then some, with Tom Crean coming up at the bottom of the hour. Yeah, Butler on the road last night against UConn. Simply put, I think it was Gutshot, who is a tremendous Butler Bulldog fan. The Dogs at times just looked like that they were apprehensive. I don't want to say scared of the moment, but okay, this is a big, bad team, and we're on the road, and that's how they played for a lot of that game. We'll talk about college basketball and then some, probably a little NBA with Tom Crean coming up. At the bottom of the hour, Kevin Bowen is going to be here. It's an off day for the Colts as they rev things up for that Monday nighter with practice beginning coming up tomorrow. And again, as you well know, Phillip Rivers is going to be the starting quarterback once again. I guess what we're going to eyeball, no pun intended here, is the whole evolution here of Anthony Richardson Sr. being medically cleared and where he is going to be. I mean, they have pulled the plug on him a couple of times. Now, has he been saved for next year because of the quarterback situation and the injury to Daniel Jones? Is he going to be necessary, or is this how they're going to view him? Now, that and more with Kevin Bowen coming up at the top of the hour. Danny Kanell will talk IU football, Heisman, and, of course, IU football fans are going to find out coming up on Friday exactly who their favorite team gets in the Rose Bowl. You have Oklahoma, you have Alabama, and you would think maybe a little bit does rely on the outcome of that game because the coaching carousel is moving along. And, one of those jobs, certainly those coveted jobs in college football would be that in Ann Arbor is wide open right now. We'll talk about that and more with Danny Kanell coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, around about 4:30. And, James, I have to give you his number. I know he was back here recently, friend of the show, and the head coach of Indiana State University, Matthew Graves, with the triple bypass. And he is slowly working his way back right now. Coach Schlesinger is still the head coach, but Matt has been slowly working his way back, and Matt's going to join us coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll talk about coming back from what was the most serious of health matters for him. A scary situation right there. It's a damn good thing you catch that when you did, and the guy that sits in this chair, I changed chairs, obviously, because I'm not sitting in a hot-ass chair, but Jake Query for 3 hours knows exactly what we're talking about here in terms of what Matthew Graves has gone through. And Matt's going to join us coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. All right, otherwise, 239-1070 is that number. Pacers are going to get the Emirates Cup champion New York Knicks. I know that it sounds puny. Allow me to be puny for a moment, can I? I'm going to be very puny just for a moment because I know they're in the inbound coming up tomorrow would be the Knicks. But anybody else, I don't really care. Doesn't really matter. I will say this, the rebirth here most recently of the Pacers all kind of happened 2 years ago in that similar format, if you remember. I just remember the final game in Vegas and Miles sucked, and my then Twitter handle was going crazy then because I think Anthony Davis worked him over, per usual. But anyway, anybody catch the act of the high level, elite level, or just the common Knicks fans out there after winning that last night? You would have thought that they won something significant. Now, I will say it was a nice springboard to get to know the Pacers a little bit more at that point in time. But, man, it doesn't really matter, does it? I was watching two dudes interview Jalen Brunson about it last night. And you could tell Brunson said, yeah, it's great. I mean, we're just winning a game here. But, what really matters is coming up in the spring. Spike Lee and Chalamet went absolutely ballistic over the Emirates Cup. And I think we would be excited. And I know 2 years ago we were excited when they were a part of it, but damn. Ultimately, what do you really win? Who gives a crap? They get a lot of money, but they get a lot of money anyway. The elite level fans going crazy in mid-December when it doesn't matter. I'm being puny regarding the Knicks right there. 317-239-1070. You guys want to jump on board? That is the text line if you want to hit it up there, too. The AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. I want you to look at this fine studio behind me. Hey, the skinny picture. I've yet to do anything significant, James, new with my hair right there. But the skinny picture of me is behind us. Brand new studios. James, what do you think?
It's looking pretty good.
Hey, we got to find a new sponsor for that segment we're going to have for the future. When you pot me up when I'm on location and I don't know I'm on the air? Like yesterday.
The JMV Candid Hour or something?
Did I say, does anybody know what I said? Drew Storn was the first one. The former major leaguer was the first one to let me in on the fact that my off-the-air conversations were being aired here yesterday.
I know for a fact, because I believe Brent said he heard this, you went out saying you couldn't hear anything from the station, which I'm sure was the first clue to everybody listening that something had gone majorly wrong.
So did I didn't say anything. Did I cuss?
No, you
no
were
cuss
clean.
words?
We got your mic off before anything bad happened.
I am like the cussingest person of all time, too. How did that moment did I not cuss?
Because I panic dialed Devin and was desperately telling him to turn your mic off.
I just kind of want to know. So I was thinking about we need to find another advertiser that's willing, and James, you'd have to be willing as well, just to bring me up when I don't know it at some point when I'm on location. Let's see what JMV is talking about during the break.
You could just do running commentary on the spots we have playing.
And I think that is what we like to call, like there are nerds out there in radio that call it unique and organic. I think that's very unique and very organic. Nerds, you should feel good about that. Let's see what JMV is talking about when he doesn't know he's on the air. Would you like to sponsor that? AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. They're there as well. Become a AAA member today. You know what we're in for weather-wise coming up in the wintertime. AAA.com and the AAA app right now to make it easy. Tom Crean's going to join us. A lot of hoops conversation coming up on the other side. The stream, the app, HD Radio, AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live at 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Welcome to Wawa. We're open 24/7, so when the sun goes down but everyone's still up, Wawa has your late night fuel. Headed to a hangout? Stop in for snacks and sodas. Binge your favorite shows with burgers and hoagies. Gather around the table with garlic knots and a cheesy Wawa pizza. Or just chill on the couch with fries and whatever milkshake sounds good. Your night just got a whole lot tastier. Freshly made burgers, pizza, and so much more. When you got a late night craving, you got a Wawa. Price and participation may vary by store.
Hey, Johnny here for Heaven Hill Distillery, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. You got me covered tomorrow. You guys going to join us, Coach's Tavern? It's me and Brent and Tommy S. and you. And I've been told to adjust my dialogue before, and I have. It is large-scale sampling is what we're doing coming up tomorrow. That's what we do every Thursday. Coach's Tavern, a very familiar place. I know you got Pacers, Knicks coming up prior to that. We're going to hang out and have a great time tomorrow. Join us. We got Week 16 of the NFL picks and more. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. That is coming up tomorrow. Coach's Tavern, downtown, 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Fan cares, and if you or someone you care about needs food assistance, we have resources for you, including food distribution locations with an interactive map. Also, learn how you can make a difference for friends and neighbors in need, all at 1075thefan.com.
You'll get more than you expect with McValue at McDonald's, like deals on your late-night go-tos when the party goes till dawn, and savings on their faves, so date night always passes the vibe check. Plus, when the fam shows up for the weekend, you can show out for breakfast.
Enjoy a $3 sausage McMuffin with egg or egg McMuffin and pair it with a $1.49 any size Coke. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer.
Baseball great Lou Gehrig was known as the Iron Horse for playing 2,130 consecutive games. But it was his reaction to his greatest challenge, the fatal diagnosis of ALS, that made Gehrig a household name and a beacon of strength for all those facing the disease. The Live Like Lou Foundation honors Lou's legacy and inspires hope for a world where ALS is no longer fatal. Donate or volunteer today at livelikeLou.org.
Hey, Windschuler Spreadability, original sharp cheddar, bacon, and cheddar, and you got that right. Jalapeno pepper, by the way, that is a fan favorite. You elite level snack on a Wednesday? Why not? Crackers, chips, vegetables, Windschuler's. You can find the spreadability of Windschuler's at Neiman's Harvest Market in Carmel, any Meijer location throughout the state of Indiana, as well as Gordon's Food Service. That's Windschuler's.
This Christmas, get a bonus AI Essentials course when you enroll in any My Computer Career IT program by the end of the year. That's a $3,900 value. Attend classes online or on campus. Enjoy lifetime job placement support and IT certifications in high demand. Go to mycomputercareer.edu today and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Conditions apply to AI offer and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
With Wawa's rewards program, you can rack up points on the items you buy every day, even fuel. Boost your totals with a breakfast sizzly. Score points with your morning coffee. With Wawa rewards, points put the power in your hands. You can choose to redeem them for what you love most, like an iced latte for an extra pick-me-up or your lunchtime hoagie. Download the Wawa app today. When you gotta get rewarded, you gotta Wawa. Fuel rewards not available in New Jersey or were legally prohibited. See full details at wawarewards.com. Price of participation may vary by store.
Kick off summer with Memorial Day savings at Lowe's. Right now, get 5 Scott's Naturescapes 1.5 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. Plus, get up to 40% off select major appliances and save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances $396 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/28. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Stop what you're doing. Aaron's just broke the holiday universe. No payments until January 1st, 2026. Yup, don't pay a thing until next year and start with just a penny. Aaron's been in the community for 70 years, making it easy to get brand new name brand furniture, appliances, electronics, all the great stuff you need. But listen, this is in-store only, so get up and get over to Aaron's today. And don't miss out. Don't just hear about the deals, get them before they're all gone. Eligible merchandise only. Maximum monthly payment applies. See store for details.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
The Ride with JMV.
Excuse me, sir. There's been a little problem in the cockpit.
The cockpit? What is it?
It's the little room in the front of the plane where the pilots sit. But that's not important right now.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. Tomorrow, Coach's Tavern downtown, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. On the road on Pendleton Pike, that is coming up on Friday. Bud Light Blue Friday. I've got Monday Night Football tickets for you. Our friends from Zinc at Whiskey Business on Pendleton Pike. I'm telling you, make one, if not both, on Thursday and Friday. Bullseye passes for you on Monday coming up a little bit later on. I did want to remind you, too, James, I got to get with you regarding the Peter Billingsley setup for tomorrow at the Mirage, because we did get a couple of winners for that yesterday, I believe, too, right? Or at least one pair we gave away.
We got one pair for it. Yep.
So we'll make sure that we have that set up with our friends at the Mirage for that special screening of A Christmas Story with Ralphie. Peter Billingsley doing a Q&A with you coming up at the Mirage. That is tomorrow night as well. Hey, by the way, too, you guys are mentioning the stream being a little foobar. So I've been told by the techs, and there are a couple of them. I know Cam and Phelan are right behind James. If you hit play again, that resets the whole damn thing, right?
That is what I've been told.
Hit play. Try that again, and then let me know if that works. Hit play again. And then record yourself doing it so I can break it down. Hit play again, and it should be sound as a pound, everybody. On the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, friend of the show, the former Hoosier coach from ESPN, also does the NBA with the Timberwolves. Tom Crean is joining us. Hello, Tom. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
We have yet to talk about, certainly here recently, the accomplishments of this Hoosier football program, what they did in the Big Ten title game, Fernando Mendoza winning the Heisman. You spent so much time in Bloomington, obviously as a part of the basketball program, and rebuilding that and putting that in place. What have you thought about the exploits of Cignetti in 2 years and accomplishments, as you well know, being a part of that fabric for the amount of time that you were? It was a foregone conclusion that nothing like that were to ever happen, yet the last 2 years have been incredible.
Well, I think it was a perfect storm in a couple of ways. I mean, credit Scott Dolson and his team with looking into different people search firm, Chad Chatlos, who's there, who I know Indiana works with, is a football guy and not one of those guys that is caught up in the names and the stars. He understands football at a high level. And I think what happened is Scott did his research and he listened, and he ended up getting a guy that was not only a peer winner and had won everywhere he'd been, but that could also bring some very accomplished players in his eyes, even though maybe the rest of the country didn't know they were that good. And in this day and age, when you can hit like that and get a guy that has got an outstanding plan, has got a track record of not success, but of huge success, and then the fact that he can bring guys that can play at this level. So not only do you get the guys that can play here from James Madison, but you get a guy that can look beyond the analytics, look beyond the measurements, look beyond the statistics, and find guys that can really play football. And I think it's incredible. And I think you go back to last year and realize that the year that they had was so much because he made the right choices, not only on his guys, but in the portal. And they had to have hit at probably well over 95% success rate in the portal, which is absolutely unheard of, especially for a first-year coach. And so he took last year's success and just made it better and was able to recruit to success this year with Fernando Mendoza, because that's a big thing too, right? He had the success of Indiana. Well, now people saw Indiana as a different type of football program where things could be accomplished nationally. And he's just done an incredible job. And I don't think he leaves anything to chance. I don't think he hires any weak links. And I think he understands quickly how to build on his success, but cut his losses quickly. And I think he's just done a phenomenal job. It has absolutely proven to be one of the best coaches in college football, because he's also got one of the best staffs in college football.
Yeah, and not only one of the best staffs, Tom, but also staff retention is so important, and he has that, and that, just simply put, doesn't often happen really in anything we're talking about, whether it's football or basketball.
Well, absolutely, but especially in football, and especially when you have success at a place like Indiana, because Kevin Wilson was losing good coaches left and right, and people forget that. You know, it was a different time, and it was a different money stream, so Kevin could lose a Dalen McCullough. He could lose different guys to bigger paydays somewhere else. Well, now that's not happening at Indiana, and that's a credit to, I think when credits Pam Whitten and Scott Dolson, I think he really means it, because he knows those people are behind him and building this thing. And it's one thing to want to do it and to be able to do it as a coach, but you have got to have the infrastructure behind you. And I think the word alignment gets overused so much that at Indiana, you can never take it for granted. And there is no question that they have alignment right now. And it hasn't been there in a long time, but it is there now. It is apparent that it's there. And I think Kurt Cignetti knows exactly how to keep it all together. And I think he's another one of those guys as an organizer. You know, you don't ever hear their name with being in some crazy ballpark figure money on a guy that's not like a bona fide guy. And there's a lot of that right now, especially in the quarterback market. So for him to hit on the quarterback market the way he did the last couple of years, and knowing that he'll probably do it again, that's pretty significant stuff. But that means he's got a team of not only excellent coaches, but the retention of evaluators that know exactly what works for Kurt Cignetti. And I think that is just, you can't put a value on that.
It is Tom Crean of ESPN. He's kind enough to join us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I want to shift some gears to basketball. I want to get to Purdue, because next up for Purdue, Auburn. And, you know, obviously Matt Painter has attacked the pre-Big Ten, or I guess it's not pre-Big Ten any longer if you have Big Ten games now under your belt. But you know what I mean as far as the schedule before January. He's always kind of attacked that, really testing this group, no matter the veteran presence he has right now, or even when this crew was younger. Do you like how they go about scheduling to find out what they have and try to build it into January and February, obviously as a springboard into March?
Oh, absolutely. When you have the kind of team that he has, absolutely. Because you're legitimately playing for a Big Ten championship and an NCAA championship, and you have the team that can play those kind of games. And I think they've shown that. Obviously, they didn't have a very good game against Iowa State, but they did go and beat Alabama, and it wasn't as close as the score indicated to me. And I think he's done a great job with that. And this is basically replaced the Crossroads Classic, right? The game he's playing with Auburn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a good sign because they've got some guys that can really score, and they got Sahad Pettiford as one of the better combination guards in the country. They've got Keyshawn Hall, who has scored a ton of points last year in the Big 12 at Central Florida, scores a ton of points now. But they're missing some things. They're not a very good passing team. And I mean, I think they're Auburn. I think they'll be able to score against Auburn. I think Auburn's got really good, talented guys. And I think they play really hard and they do good things defensively, but the way Matt plays will bother that team. And so I think that's what the NCAA tournament is like, because that's what the Big Ten is like. There's always something, especially this year more than ever. There's always flaws in a team that if you really understand how to attack them, or I should not even say flaws, but things that aren't strengths and they're not their best strengths, you can attack them. And I think Matt's done a great job of that for a long time. I did the Michigan State-Toledo game last night at the Breslin Center for Peacock. Michigan State has got a team like that can attack you in weak areas because the things that they're really good at, like the fast break and rebounding and coming out of timeouts and executing their offense, that's not going away. Well, they can also find some things to disrupt you. And I think Michigan's got that because of the length. And so when you talk about teams like that, Illinois has that. And your Purdue, great.
And getting a high level of production. Only in Michigan, that's something when getting a high level of production. Only in Michigan, that's something we've seen before. And in Nebraska, this is all like new right now.
Well, yeah, I'll start with Michigan. You pretty much anymore in this day and age, you've got to have a legit 8. And if you have a legit 9, and I don't mean just 9 players, I mean when it gets past 1 through 6, that 7 and 8 and even 9, there's not a big drop-off when they come in the game. And I think Michigan has that. They have that up front where you really have to have it. Florida had that last year. And Sam Alexis was on the team who's at Indiana, obviously. Micah Hanlockton came back late. But they had a front line of guys that are going to play in the NBA. And so when you have that, you have an advantage. Michigan has that. Their guards have improved. I think the thing that's going to be great about the Big Ten for fans is it's certainly not going to be one where somebody is just going to take advantage. I don't see anybody running roughshod over the league, even Michigan. Because the other day, if Farrell Payne from Maryland doesn't get hurt, he got hurt in the side of that game. It only played 15 minutes, and Maryland had a very good lead at points and times in the game. I think Maryland beats Michigan that day because they had a great game plan against Michigan. They spread their big men out. They ran their offense higher. They pulled Ade Mara, who's, I think, given up. I think teams are shooting 36% at the rim, which is unreal when he's in the game, right? Like that's got to be as top as there is in the country. But when you pull him out and you put him into pick and roll coverages or get him away from the perimeter, when you pull those guys out, it changes the game. And I just think those are the kind of things we're going to see inside of the league. But they've got the talent, the coaching. I think they have the shooting, though I'm not totally certain on that. And if they can figure out how to win different styles of games defensively when their bigs get pulled out, they'll be really good. Nebraska has mastered with Fred how to have the most shooters on the floor. All right. And Rink Mast, who played his career early on at Bradley, played a year at Nebraska, got hurt, redshirted last year, and is now one of the most versatile big men in the country. He's as big a nightmare for matchup coach, for guys trying to figure out how they're going to coach against him as there is in the Big Ten, because he's a 5-man that can post. He's a pretty good driver. He can pass it, but he can really shoot it. And Tom Izzo's got one of those type of guys in Jackson Kohler, though I think Rick Mass is stronger and could do a little more in the post. But what Fred has done is I think Fred can beat you different ways. And if they get some confidence on the road, certainly winning at Illinois the other day was a big confidence builder for them, the way they won it. But they have great spacing. They have real movement. They guard you. They're physical. And a lot of times he can keep 4 shooters minimum on the floor. You know, I always wanted to do that at Indiana. Our best teams could have 4 shooters minimum on the floor in our best games, because then, JMV, you're not reliant on your plays. Now you can play to your concepts and your spacing, and you can keep the defense moving around because your bigs can play different ways. And now Michigan has that in Yaxel Lendenborg, like he's a first-team All-American type guy right now. But Nebraska has that, and they have that coming off the bench as well. So Nebraska, and I should have mentioned them earlier, they've got to be in the same breath as the best teams in the Big Ten.
Hey, quickly before I let you go here, Tom, does it seem like to you that we have an inordinate amount of blowouts so far in this college basketball season? Because it seems like I see more 25 and 30-point games than, and maybe it's because I'm living in the moment, but that's what it seems like so far with me. A lot of blowouts this season, no matter if you're talking top 25 teams matching up or if you have kind of not a lack of balance, I guess, in a matchup. It seems like there are a lot of blowouts this season at this point.
Well, I don't know what I would call the scientific reason, but I'm going to tell you what my belief is in that. And I think it's been coming for a while. And this is just my belief. Human dynamics and younger people right now, sometimes when they get down 10 or they get down 12, they can let go quickly and not believe that they can come back. When you get a team that can be down 10 with 4 minutes to go, that even if you didn't win, they believe they could come back and they gave you every effort to come back, you're going to have a good team. But there are too many teams in the country that are not, and it's not indicative of a coach as much as it's indicative of society a lot of times, in that when you get down, and especially when you haven't been together and you haven't shared adversity together, you know, where you've gone through it year after year, because the world of basketball has changed so much, it is really, really easy to give in and just try to get through it rather than digging in and trying to do everything you can do to to scratch out that win. And I was feeling it even my last couple of years at Georgia, because it's really, really easy to go through the motions down 10, 12, or 14 and let it turn into mid-20s than it is to just get down, get the loose balls, get the 50-50s, have a group of guys that believe they can come back, stretch 3 stops in a row or 3 scores in a row, and all of a sudden with 2 minutes to go, it's a 6-point game. Now too many times with 2 minutes to go, it's a 26-point game. And I just think it's something you got to fight every day and build into your team as a coach and rehearse it in situational practices and be cognizant of it, because it's a new day and age where you're not keeping your team together and you're bringing in a lot of new people every year, man. They're not used to it. And I think it starts at an earlier age, but it definitely gets felt in college. We could talk about that in the NBA. Same thing happens in the NBA because they know they're going to play the next night.
Yeah,
it's a tough way to live.
I'm glad
it's reality.
It is, and I'm glad you noticed that too, because it doesn't matter if you're talking about a top 10 team or, you know, one team that's, you know, from a mid to a high major. It seems like that we have a lot of blowouts going on out there right now. Those are really good reasons. With Tom Crean, he's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, ESPN, Peacock as of last night, and just does a great job in breaking down stuff for us. Tom, I appreciate it as always. We will do this again soon. If we don't talk before Christmas, you and the family have a very Merry Christmas.
You too, and stay healthy when you're playing pickup basketball on campus now. No torn ACL or anything for next year.
I played last night. I played last night at Center Grove until 11 o'clock, buddy.
Good for you. So tell everybody, all your listeners back there, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all of them too. So thank you.
Will do, Tom. Thank you very much. Tom Crean on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. And James, I got to give a shout out to Center Grove too, because for my birthday, they actually swept the floor in the West Gym. Thank you guys very much. That was very kind. Happy birthday to me. I didn't slide around like I was on a frozen pond last night. Thank you guys for sweeping the floor in the Center Grove West Gym. Happy birthday to me. Quick break. In studio, Kevin Bowen, top of the hour. Danny Kanell, bottom of the 5. And Matthew Graves, Indiana State, for the first time in a while. He'll give you a sense of what he has gone through in the last month and a half or so, coming up after 5. Stream the app, HD Radio, AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. It's 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
Do you need furnace or heat pump service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust like Family Heating and Air Conditioning? We'll find that American Standard air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Get ready for heel-tapping fun as you discover the new $2 Wizard of Oz scratch-off from the Hoosier Lottery. With 4 unique scenes and prizes up to $10,000, the Emerald City awaits. From the Hoosier Lottery, champions of play. Play responsibly. So what's in the bag today? Yesterday's leftovers? Another lunch meat sandwich? Well, go ahead and pull up a rock and settle in for a half hour of I wish I was eating something else. Or you could be eating something else, or someplace else. If you're brown bagging it at the corner of 30th and Shadeland area, drop over to His Place Eatery for 30 minutes of, why didn't I know about this place sooner? Nothing fancy, not a lot of frills. They save that for the quality of the meal. Like ribs that fall off the bone, southern fried chicken, sides that will cause your taste buds to thank you into tomorrow. Put that in your brown bag and eat it. Better yet, bank the bag. Go to His Place Eatery at the corner of 30th and Shadeland, or the newest location off 86th and Ditch Road. Your dirty boots and work clothes are welcome here. His Place, your place for lunch. Go to hisplaceeatery.com to learn more.
Hey, John here for Big Red Liquors. How about this? Who's a fan out there of Pappy? You guys know when I mention Pappy, do you know what I'm talking about? Pappy? Pappy Claus is coming to town. That's what it says. But I know what Pappy is. Do you? The last chance raffle of 2025. So head to Big Red Liquors locations and sign up and get registered. And this is one entry per person per day. That is starting yesterday, in fact. Running through the 22nd, which is Monday. All winning bottles will be delivered to stores before Christmas. I'm talking about Pappy Van Winkle, 10-year, 12-year, 15-year. To most of you out there that love it, it is like the gold standard. I mean, you're going to fight for this stuff. Pappy Van Winkle. It is the last chance raffle of 2025. I want you to stop by any Big Red Liquors location. And again, you can get signed up once per day per location for the opportunity to get that Pappy Van Winkle. 10-year, 12-year, and 15-year with Big Red Liquors. 100-plus locations, state of Indiana. It should be easy to find and easy to do. There's one near you. If you want to scope out these locations and get your work done with Pappy Van Winkle, find it online right now, bigredliquors.com.
The blue and gold look to take a bite out of the Big Apple on Thursday.
Offensive rebound, Neesmith on the foul line. Drives it over here to the left wing, then comes right back into the lane and sets up Furphy for three out of the far corner.
The Pacers host the New York Knicks Thursday at 7. This Eastern Conference showdown is always a must-see game. So get your tickets at pacers.com/tickets.
Rebounded by Jackson, shot clock to 3. Nemhard from the right edge, beat the shot clock and hit a 3.
Pacers-Knicks, Thursday at 7.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's Terry Stacy for Cynthia's Hallmark, and this Christmas, give her something she'll treasure forever. The most sought-after jewelry in the country, E. Newton. Timeless, elegant, and designed for everyday wear. And don't forget the classic Ronaldo bracelets, hand-wired with care in New Albany, Indiana, and these gifts are gifts she will truly love. E. Newton and Ronaldo are available only at Cynthia's Hallmark in Greenfield, and if you're looking for relaxation as a gift, explore the lemon lavender collection. Pampering Spa Day favorites, perfect for anyone who could use a little comfort this season. And you've got to feel the lavender-scented Warm Pals. They're gently weighted, warm or cool, and designed to give that soothing hug-like feeling. Gifts that fit every budget for every person on your list. You'll find just the right presents at Cynthia's Hallmark, including gift cards. Make your holiday giving meaningful, memorable, and magical. Shop locally owned Cynthia's Hallmark, celebrating 40 years. 116th and Allisonville Road, 96th and Lantern Road, 116th and Brooks School Road, and in Greenfield.
The Ride with JMV.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
All right, you guys don't seemingly have a lot of interest, but I'll give a shout out to Corey Hall right here, who is cruising around 65 in Raymond. There's the Monday Night Football hauler. 18 wheels and rolling, moving on, everybody. If you remember that 70s, not so iconic program. Guess the reason why it would be popular around here is the late great from Bedford, Indiana, actor Claude Akins was in Moving On. The Monday Night Football hauler around 65 in Raymond. Corey, thank you very much. The spreadability of Ren Schuler's, this is easily found. You don't have to look for it like Corey just did, the Monday Night Football hauler on the open road. You can find the spreadability and that snacking that you deserve. I mean, elite level snacking that you desire and deserve, in fact. Wen Schuler's, you can find it at Neiman's Harvest Market in Carmel. Have you been there? What a great spot, by the way. Neiman's Harvest Market, Gordon's Food Service, and any Meijer location throughout the state of Indiana. My friends, it is the absolute best. Get cheesy and snack at an elite level with Wen Schuler's. Do that today. Danny Kanell, college football and more. Bottom of the hour will join us. Matthew Graves, Indiana State after 5. But coming up next, the availability, the easy availability of a Monday Night Football ticket, the low level of interest, does he feel it from the morning show with Jeff Rickert, James Boyd? I'm talking about Kevin Bowen. Kevin Bowen from the Fan Morning Show joins us next. 93.5, 107.5, The Fan. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. If you're planning to propose this holiday, we're ready to make creating your engagement ring a warm, welcoming experience. At Shane Company, we're all about your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. Explore the widest selection of diamonds and ring settings ready for you to see in person, or visit us at shaneco.com. You'll have your ring in days, not weeks. Our friendly jewelry consultants don't work on commission. There's never any pressure, just perfect proposals. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
I'm Mark Boyle, voice of the Indiana Pacers. For your best shot at better water, go local with C&J Water. They're Hoosiers serving Hoosiers, bringing cleaner, safer, better-tasting water to homes across central Indiana. When you purchase a new water softener in November or December, C&J Water donates to the Pacers Foundation, helping those in need here at home. Better water for your family, helping those in need at home and abroad. For your best shot at better water, trust the local pros at C&J Water.
Got a great idea for you. WeGrowHairIndy.com. Have you noticed maybe a lack of coverage on that dome? Open dome conversation is something that is familiar. It was to me about 9 years ago because the whole male pattern baldness thing was setting in, and I didn't want it. I didn't want any of it. No, I wanted an option, and Darren Andrews provided that at 317-522-2995. You guys dig on options too? Don't we all? How about your option of real growing hair? Ask about it today, but make sure you tell them that I sent you, because this is a quest for you. If you dig your hair and you want to keep it and continue to grow, they can help you. They'll do it for you. 317-522-2995. That's Darren Andrews at WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for Mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for Dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, lift with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not that.
Of course he did. Right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch, so you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part? You can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Guys, my side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed.
With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel.
W228CX, Indianapolis.
The Ride with JMV.
We're not going to fall for a banana in the tailpipe.
You're not gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
It should be more natural, brother. It should flow out like this. Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Danny Kanell joins us bottom of the hour. Matthew Graves in the 5 o'clock hour. Coach's Tavern tomorrow. Larceny Bourbon Lock Saloon Azul Tequila Shots. Friday, we're going to be Pendleton Pike location. I cannot wait for that. Bud Light Blue Friday. We'll have us at Whiskey Business. Make sure you set your plans on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. By the way, if you missed Tom Crean, that podcast at 1075thefan.com. There was a ton right there regarding the evolution in 2 years of IU football, blowouts that have become prevalent so far this college basketball season, and the Big Ten look with Michigan and Nebraska with Tom Crean. That podcast, 1075thefan.com. The County Crows bring us back as Kevin Bowen joins us now on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, because not only is it turning out to be a long December right now for Colts fans, but there is a history of futility in this particular month, no matter what group we're talking about here in recent memory. Is there not for the Colts?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was looking up. I don't think they've won multiple games in December and January under Shane Steichen, consecutive games, I should say, under Steichen. And then, yeah, I mean, certainly the poster child of it's 2021. I kind of throw 2022 out to the shed, if you will, but 2021, that the Raiders and the Jags with Carson Wentz, I mean, that would be probably the top of it. So, you know, honestly, when you look at the playoff standings, it's not that far-fetched that they make it. If you just literally look at the standings, look at records, look at what these teams have the rest of the way. But honestly, the thing I'm most skeptical about of all of it is the Colts doing their part, which would be winning, you know, 2 of these last 3 and potentially all 3 of them.
I asked this question, Kev, a little bit earlier, because I don't know the feel that you get, but the pulse of the crowd out there, the listeners, they are telling me that they are non-believers. And you look at the ticket prices / availability, and it looks like this is not as interesting as a Monday night tilt as you might think, considering the standing of this Colts team right now. I think it's more recognizable for how they played in the past month, but still clearly and firmly in the midst of a playoff opportunity. But honestly, I think with the interest around here, I know it's just Wednesday and a week prior, but you really can't tell.
Yeah, it is. You know, probably has to do with past precedent, basically just what we all went over there when you look at the past years, and we're kind of used to it and almost, numb to it isn't the right word, but it's just hard, I think, to, create the 180 when, so far, John, you've looked at, it could be one of the biggest collapse of the NFL scene in over a decade when you consider where the start is. So, I think the Rivers jolt, if you will, was certainly, more movie than anything. And now, again, the question becomes, is there somehow, some way you can, get two of these final three? Really, the two biggest ones are Jacksonville and Houston. I mean, I know San Francisco probably is the easiest of the three, just given how banged up they are. I mean, they are really, really hurt. And it is at home for you. San Francisco will have another NFC West game, which would be a little bit more important on their schedule. But, yeah, I'd say that's probably the sentiment that I've gotten of just, a little bit, to do with play on the field, and certainly some to do with injury, and, probably a lot rooted in this is kind of what I'm used to, this team in the month of December not winning meaningful games.
Are we also used to Jonathan Taylor having an outstanding start of the season and then fading late, as we see right now, too? Is that fair to say?
I don't know. I probably have to look a little closer at that. I mean, obviously he got off to an unbelievable start this season, easily the best of his career. I feel like he is, the run game, typically correlates, I guess, with wins and losses a whole lot, typically when you're running out the clock and all that. I seem to recall some late season moments from him, the New England game in 21 being, again, probably the top of that when Carson Wentz, you were really afraid to call any sort of passing game with him. And, Taylor had one of the more iconic moments really in Lucas Oil on that Saturday night game. I want to say his career high came in late December, early January, one of those games. So, obviously if you look at the last month plus, the inability to get him going, and really it's really from an efficiency standpoint, like yards per carry is a number that I think, tells you a lot about what you're doing running it. And, if you watch Sunday, it was just such tough sledding for him. I mean, he had 25 carries in the game, and his long carry was 11. I mean, that's typically is not him at all. And I get Seattle is a good run defense team. And, I do think that'll be a big part to Monday night in executing, of course, some sort of game plan with Phillip Rivers. But, San Francisco, if you're looking for some optimism, they just let the Titans run all over them. And their run defense hasn't been great by any means this season. So, is there anything there that you can drum up with Taylor amidst the passing game that you have?
Is there anything here whatsoever with Phillip Rivers? And, I notice, listen, he didn't lose them the game. I'm not suggesting that at all. But, Kev, his limitations playing that position of being able to go down the field, they're certainly a symptom for the cause right here as to why the Colts ultimately lose and why you don't believe, especially when a team has, a week's worth of time to really get ready for it. Now, if you can't throw it down the field, simply put, in this era of NFL, you can't win. And I don't see that changing. Close game in Seattle notwithstanding on Monday night. What's the right path in which you think Shane Steichen and company should be taking at that position?
Well, I think we're probably splitting hairs to a degree in the debate of last week. I would have gone with Leonard over Rivers, but I largely think the end result probably would have been the same in terms of the point total. It might have looked differently. It might have been a little bit more volatile with a rookie quarterback getting his first ever NFL start than the, really dinosaur offense that Phillip Rivers was leading. And I think that's the biggest question you have moving forward. Like that offense, and I understand there was, a game plan element, according to the Colts, but like that, if that offense was repeated over the course of the season, you'd be drafting in the top 5. I mean, there's just nothing of a winning formula consistently with that offense. You have to be so pristine in virtually every other aspect of the game in order to win it. And really for me, it comes so much down to just creating a few more big plays. If you look back on it, I was crunching some numbers earlier. They only had 2 plays over 15 yards in the entire game. And I looked at their touchdown drives this season for the Colts, and every single one of them but one has had at least one play of 15 yards, and many of them had multiple plays of 15 yards. Like, it's just, in today's NFL, it is so difficult to literally grind out 12-play, 80-yard drives, 65-yard drives, the new touchback rule, when you're only getting, 3-4 yards in a cloud of dust and you're trying to move the chains in that manner. And ironically, one of the 2 plays that were over 15 yards on Sunday ended in a touchdown, the Tyler Warren, seam ball. So, again, for me, I think that's the biggest question I have for Monday is like, okay, what can they do to get more of those chunk plays? Is it more of those double moves to Josh Downs? Is it, is that ball to Tyler Warren in as much traffic as it is over the middle of the field? Is that going to be something that you're able to do? The San Francisco defense, for what it's worth, they are the worst sack team in the entire NFL. Can you, load up a big-time protection and Crow hops into one and Phillip Rivers throws it 30 yards down the field and Alec Pierce goes up and makes a play? Yeah, I just don't know how that will look. But, again, they're pretty adamant. And this is a Gus Bradley defense. This is Robert Saleh, Gus Bradley, and what we know about that is it'll be pretty simple for you in the grand scheme of it. So, can Rivers and Steichen kind of chess match their way into a few of those big plays?
Listen, it probably wouldn't have helped because literally that's what you saw on that final play and that interception. It was a jump ball that Phillip Rivers threw because he had to in the middle of the field. It was picked off. But I honestly, I think you got to find any way necessary to kind of loosen things up, and whether the concentration on Jonathan Taylor, which we'd brought up earlier, pressing up and not being worried about going down 10 yards further down the field in the pass play. I wouldn't mind to see a jump ball in Alec Pierce's direction because I do think he could actually win it. And then I don't mind it because I think if he doesn't win it, I think he's going to be up there enough to where maybe you can sidestep potential disaster in a pick. I just think you got to find ways and means to loosen things up. And I think that's one of the few things logically that you can do given the circumstances of your 44-year-old quarterback.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I've said this about Pierce for a long time. Like, just good things happen when you target him, not when he catches it all the time. Obviously, he does catch it quite frequently, but I'd be hard pressed to know how many pass interference penalties he draws. It just seems like, and I brought this up in the morning show I think earlier today, but you go back to Sunday, and there was a play down the near sideline where Rashid Shaheed for Seattle probably got interfered with. But he made no real attempt to go back at the football, and they didn't throw the flag. Pierce, in one of his 2 targets he got all game, again, he makes an aggressive attempt to try and catch it, which many times I think that's almost half the battle when you're trying to draw these 50-50 flags. If you show that official some effort to try and fight through that guy to get back to wherever the ball is, many times I think those officials will give you benefit of the doubt there. And Pierce always does that. And when the ball is on target and he's not getting interfered with, he catches 95% of them down the field. So that's the missing ingredient right now. It's just so apparent. Team, it's that, you with Rivers, how can you get Pierce involved? Because, he is such a key ingredient to those big plays. And then those drives end in a touchdown drive. So, I mean, I don't care who the quarterback is. To me, you got to target Alec Pierce with one of those shots every single quarter. I think he's earned the right for that. Again, whether it's his pass-catching ability, just high-pointing it and showing the volleyball background, or it's simply him, drawing flags. I mean, if you throw him, let's say 4 of those balls a game, he's probably going to catch 2 of them, and the odds tell you he's going to draw a flag maybe on one of the other 2. So, I mean, 3 out of the 4 times, if you're creating a 20, 30-yard, maybe even a bigger chunk, you'll sign me up for that. So, yeah, I do think that has got to be there. I just have no idea if Rivers can throw it.
So Kevin Bowen, Fan Morning Show, 7 until 10 a.m. He and James Boyd and Jeff Rickard, weekday mornings here on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I guess on the bright side, Jalen Travis, that's going to be the right tackle of the future right there. Do we see a little bit of the future in the present on Sunday in Seattle?
Yeah, I would assume. Well, I mean, definitely at right tackle. I mean, Braden Smith's on injured reserve, so it's got to be Jalen Travis here for the rest. I mean, next year, I guess, is what I was pointing at too, for the future, foreseeable future. Yeah, I mean, I think when we've had this discussion before, John, of like the free agents and obviously Daniel Jones and probably Pierce are the 2 we talk about the most. But I have felt like at some positions you just have to pass the torch. Like, you just can't re-sign everybody. It's just not how the hard salary cap works. And, for example, they did that at center and right guard this past offseason. They said, hey, we drafted Tanner Bortolini in round 4. We drafted Matt Gonzalez in round 3. Those are pretty high draft picks for interior offensive linemen. So we feel like, whenever it's time for Will Fries to really cash in, or Ryan Kelly to really cash in, or cash in again, I should say, at some point, if we're going to go and get the Mooney Wards and the Cam Bynums, then we've got to sacrifice in some other spots. So, and I think it's worked out very well, to be honest with you. And at tackle, if there was one draft pick that the Colts had that you felt like maybe was a little bit of a project, and again, projects is too big of a word to use for Jalen Travis, but he played at Princeton his first 3 years, then went to Iowa State, so only played big-time college football for 1 year. It was probably him at right tackle, and, I thought in the preseason snaps he looked fairly good, and obviously he's been able to sit and watch for, the first 3 months. And, yeah, I thought, it helps, to be fair, that Rivers gets the ball out. I think it was one of the fastest anybody's gotten the ball out all year in the NFL. But still, I thought Travis did a nice job, and you're sure going to need him here down the stretch. I know San Francisco doesn't have those pass rushers, but, if the Colts are able to somehow, win the next 2 games, that Week 18 game against Will Anderson Jr. and Daniil Hunter could be for all the marbles.
What's the latest? I know they haven't practiced yet, so maybe you don't know, but what's the feel about Ryman and his injury situation?
Yeah, my guess is he's iffy for Monday. They worked out a ton of offensive linemen Monday and Tuesday, probably the most they've worked out of position group all year, maybe outside of kicker. And then they signed, I think it was 3 of them to the practice squad yesterday. So, those are, for those that don't really pay attention to that stuff or don't care, those are pretty big numbers. And I don't know, maybe there's another offensive line injury that isn't there, but, to me, that indicates at least something. And it's not, yes, you have Jalen Travis, and you do just need a backup tackle in general. And Luke Tenuta would be that guy who went in for Ryman, you would think, if everybody's healthy. But they typically like to dress, another tackle. Maybe Matt Gonzalez would go out there in a pinch, considering he did play a little right tackle for Braden Smith last year. But, yeah, I would say Braden, kind of how I'm looking at the 3 injuries for this week, John, and we'll find out, again, tomorrow's their first practice of the Monday night game. I think Buckner's got a legit shot. Bernard Ryman, I'd say iffy, and Sauce Gardner, I'd say iffy.
Yeah. It's funny because you can't really tell, I don't think. And again, I know it's midweek and they don't play until Monday night. So, sometimes what do you expect? But for a team that is still firmly in place, it is interesting to see kind of the lack of, any juice regarding this right now. And for me, I want to see a little bit of juice. I'm going to be down there in the midst of it. So you want to, see a group fired up for a Monday night game. But, hell, you don't see that so far. At least we'll see if that transpires, especially considering that, Kev, you win your last 3, you'll be in. It's still in front of you. Now, is that logical? No, but 2 out of the last 3 gives you more than a puncher's chance at it as well. And it just kind of seems like the way this team has played recently has scared a lot of people away.
Yeah, I haven't gone full, playoff simulator, but somebody sent me one last night where, if you just look at the Texans and Colts, Texans are right now a game up on the Colts, and they obviously have the head-to-head tiebreaker right now. If the Texans were to beat the Raiders on Sunday, which, again, there's probably a good chance that happens, and the Colts were to beat the 49ers, and then both teams were to lose next week, I want to say the Texans have the Chargers, the Colts have the Jags, it would then come down to Week 18 if whoever wins that game would get, I think, the final wild card spot is how the scenario was set. Now, I think there's a little bit of you would split the head-to-head, you would tie in the division. You'd be on some wild tiebreakers. So who knows? Maybe there's some other games that would, impact that. But it just kind of goes back to what we were saying a little earlier. James and I were talking about this earlier today. When you see The Athletic or whatever, some of these people put out their playoff percentages, they're taking into consideration the Colts state right now, where they're at quarterback-wise. If you just, again, looked at the standings and the records, their playoff odds are a lot closer to a coin flip than factoring in they're on their third-string quarterback. for example. Now, of course, you have to live in reality and realize this Colts team is in the current state that they are. And again, they had won consecutive games in December and January under Shane Steichen, and now you're asking them to, in all likelihood, have to do that. So, and obviously these teams are all playing for something. San Francisco and Jacksonville and Houston, are all very much in the mix of one seeds, division titles, playoff spots, all of that. So that's where obviously the skepticism climbs in.
Before I let you go, Kev, I'm going to ask you this, and this is both where we sit right now. Do you think that, for example, the head coach and general manager, will start right there, the two most prominent positions organizationally speaking, obviously outside of ownership right here, if the Colts lose out? And I guess there'll be a point where we are right now and what you think about that compared to a point, let's just say the worst case scenario happens, they lose out. Do you think that there'll be changes made when we sit here and bring it up right now? And do you think that if they lose out, there will be changes made? How do you view this? And again, I know there's still a lot to occur in the final 3 weeks, but it's kind of interesting, I think, the dynamic, because there have been like different situations that would tell you that they'll stay the course considering what they did at the trade deadline. But if you lose out, that is going to be a tough scenario to follow through on.
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, it's one I'm obviously curious about and super torn on the answer. That would be 7 straight losses. If you would have told me at the start of the year, this season is going to end in 7 straight losses, do you think the Colts will run it back in 2026? I would call you an absolute idiot for even thinking that was possible. But yet, and you bring up the Sauce Gardner trade, I don't get the sense that the higher ups are very nervous, I guess, is probably where I would start. I don't get the feeling that, and maybe some of it is, hey, we're still in it and there's 3 games to go. And yeah, I mean, we're right now outside looking in, but we can still get back into the mix there. And of course you have the Carly Ursay-Gordon element too. We just don't know. And for 2 months, is she thinking, hey, potential 1 seed, home game in the playoffs? And she didn't think for a second that she'd be potentially blowing it up. And now is her mind like, oh my gosh, do I really have to do all that? And do I really need to, obviously you're starting to see, teams around the league either already have done the firing or are about to. And, are the Colts behind the 8 ball in any way, shape, or form? Part of me thinks when you're in those positions, you always have to prepare for that, particularly when you've had the recent run that they've had of, 4 straight years missing the playoffs and obviously the division title drought. So, again, I would say right now, I mean, losing out is a different element to it. But then part of me is like, well, I mean, let's say they win, let's say week 18 doesn't matter and they do what they did last year and they win a meaningless game. Are you really going to, oh my gosh, they won in week 18. And now all of a sudden, just because they didn't end with 7 straight losses, it was 6 of 7, we're going to run it all back. So right now I would say they are back. But just the ugliness of what the final chapter, if you will, on this season would be of, again, one of the biggest, I think it is the biggest collapse the NFL has seen in over a decade. Boy, that'd be really, really hard. That to me would be way, way too much to just say, oh, yep, let's all hold hands and bring it back. But, that's typically been what this organization has done lately.
Yeah, I've said the same thing. I thought that the choice to me was made at the trade deadline. That's, okay, we've mortgaged the future, and this is who we're going to go with. But I don't, if they lose out, especially considering how it's gone, I don't know how in the world you justify bringing everybody back. And again, it's funny, right? Because I said back in January when the season was over, get rid of everybody right now. I'm not ready to move forward with this. And then, you come out of the gate 7-1, and I looked like a horse's ass. And I guess now I'm back to not looking so much like a horse's ass anymore. So it's kind of weird how all this evolves.
By the way, I don't know why horse ass makes me think of this, but happy belated birthday.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. It was cool. It was cool, especially that part when I was on the air, when I was off the air yesterday. That's pretty sweet. Did you hear?
Yeah, I happen to be listening. So,
good.
Bear with us, everyone.
Do you remember what I was talking about? I don't know if Hagan was there yet or not, but do you remember what I was talking about? Was it entertaining? Because I'm thinking about making a segment out of it. When let's see what JMV's talking about when he thinks he's off the air. I think that's a good segment.
Yeah, I think it was pre-Hagen, but bear with us, listeners. We apologize for our hurdles that we're trying to clear here as we're shifting gears studio-wise. But, yeah, I the whole what would it take for everybody to be back in 2026? And look, is this the most okay, let's just isolate Ballard because the sample size is a lot more with him. Is this the most egregious Chris Ballard season of the other 8? No. I mean, I can sit here and say, obviously, they had a great 2-month run, and they have not gotten great injury luck by any means here over the last month or two. But, there is an element of, Monday's opponent is the exact example of it. San Francisco has been hurt much greater than the Colts have in games missed and prominent players and all of that. And yet here they are competing for the 1 seed. And, Houston, who's right there with you, they, lose their starting quarterback for, several games and win all those games. So, when Daniel Jones went down, for what it's worth, you were out of the playoffs at that point anyways. So that's where I just struggle in saying, everybody deserves a pass. And just because Daniel Jones is coming back with a torn Achilles doesn't mean that 2026 is going to be necessarily, all roses anyway. So, I probably don't have too much of I'm not torn in my opinion, but I think internally it would have to be a change of ways in my opinion, based off where they were at with that Sauce Gardner trade.
Yeah. Hey, Kev, I appreciate it, man. By the way, to the Phillip Rivers game on Sunday, did you see that? Man, Indianapolis was the highest rated in 5 years.
Really?
Colts game? Yeah. The Phillip Rivers, this is Zach Kiefer. The Phillip Rivers effect. Sunday's game in Seattle was the most watched Colts game in the Indianapolis market on CBS in 5 years.
Well, I guess that makes sense, right? Colts Texans would have been a Sunday night game, the win and get in, and some of those other games. So yeah.
Anyway, this thought we'll let people chew on that for a little bit. Kev, I appreciate it. 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. You and Jeff and James right here in studio, brother. Appreciate you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, brother. Kevin, Bowen, Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline. Danny Kanell on the other side. College football in particular, IU, the Heisman, Fernando Mendoza, and some NFL with the former NFL QB next.
It's glitz and glamour at Four Winds South Bend's Ribbontown Event Center. A New Year's Eve party to remember. Enjoy live entertainment featuring Naughty, party favors, appetizers, and a cash bar. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
You'll get more than you expect with McValue at McDonald's. Like deals on your late night go-tos when the party goes till dawn. And savings on their faves. So date night always passes the vibe check. Plus, when the fam shows up for the weekend, you can show out for breakfast.
Enjoy a $3 sausage McMuffin with egg or egg McMuffin and pair it with a $1.49 any size Coke. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer.
Hey, you got to become a AAA member today because I know the weather is going to warm up, but you know what's going to happen once we get into the wintertime. We're not even into the wintertime yet. Let AAA guide you through it or support you through it on the open road with that roadside service that you deserve. And requests, they're simple. Download the AAA mobile app, request that service, and track your service responder in real time. AAA is so necessary, especially around here in the wintertime. 24/7, 365, they have you back. Sign up today, AAA.com, or download the mobile app. Tell them that I sent you the open road support that you need, and also a great holiday gift-giving idea. Again, the AAA mobile app, download that today, or AAA.com. Make sure you tell them I sent you.
Get ready to hoop. It's back. Time to try your skills at Night Owls Thursday, December 18th with the fans' very own Jake Query from 7:30 to 9:30 with Michelob Ultra's Mini Hoops Challenge. Michelob Ultra Mini Hoops Challenge gives you a chance to win a Michelob Ultra basketball jersey and punch your ticket to the Mini Hoops Finals, where a trip to see Indiana versus Milwaukee in Milwaukee on February 6th is on the line, complete with a hotel gift card and $100 Visa gift card. Visit 1075thefan.com today to see all the locations and details. Annapolis. The Fan cares, and if you or someone you care about needs food assistance, we have resources for you, including food distribution locations with an interactive map. Also, learn how you can make a difference for friends and neighbors in need, all at 1075thefan.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
JMV here for my friends at Premier Weight Loss. You know what's funny? When I was in my teens, body exploration meant something completely different than it does now that I'm 56 years of age. I can say now that it means, where am I on my weight loss journey? Down nearly 80 pounds. How about my body fat percentage? Down from 35% to 13%. Now it's time to add muscle mass, or lean mass, if you will, with the tone stimulation machine that they have at Premier Weight Loss. You can do the same. Weight loss journey and then tone up with Thomas and Samantha and the gang at Premier Weight Loss. It will work for you. That's PWLND.com. Mention my name. For the first 10 days in the month of December, you could win 2 lower-level tickets to see the Niners and the Colts. If you want to lose the weight, if you want to feel better, it's PWLND.com. You can do it. Tell them JMV sent you. PWLND.com today.
Jake Query here. Each weekday noon to 3, guests appear live on the Java House Peel and Pour guest line. Use code JAKE25 at javahouse.com to save 25% on your first order.
Hey, fellas, it's JMV, and you have worked hard all year. Now it's time to treat yourself, and there's no better way to do that than a new watch from Moyer Fine Jewelers in Carmel. Omega, Breitling, Hublot, and the Midwest's best selection of pre-owned watches. The watch guys at Moyer know their stuff, and they've got the best selection and pricing anywhere in Indy. So do yourself a favor. Head to Moyer Fine Jewelers, where Indy goes for the best watches in the game. Moyer Fine Jewelers, just north of 146th Street in Carmel. MoyerFineJewelers.com.
The Ride with JMV.
Attention, whoever you are, this channel is reserved for emergency calls only.
Lady, do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza? 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
That is a Christmas movie right there. And Die Hard, remember another Christmas movie, A Christmas Story. You're going to get a screening, and you're going to get Peter Billingsley, Ralphie, in that film from 1983 with a Q&A after the screening tomorrow. Get your tickets, the Mirah Egyptian Room here downtown. That is tomorrow. I know some of you won on the show. We kind of screwed Peter Billingsley over yesterday. James, have we heard from him again? With the FUBAR, the station yesterday completely hosed me on Ralphie, didn't it?
I have not heard anything back, unfortunately.
Man, that's too bad. I'll take Ralphie if Ralphie comes to town and can make that call, though. Hey, tomorrow we will be downtown. Coach's Tavern, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, Whiskey Business, Pendleton Pike, Bud Light Blue Friday, Monday Night Football tickets for you coming up on Friday with our friends from Bud Light. Meantime, on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline from CBS, and you can check them out courtesy of Bet Online. Bet Online with all the latest. You can find betonline.ag for the updated college football playoff game and champion lines, along with all the stuff you're looking for in college football playoff props. Speaking of props, let's prop up Danny Kanell, who joins us now. Hello, Danny. How are you?
What's going on, man? I am fantastic. Ready for these playoffs to get started. I'm fired up, man.
What did you think about the Heisman, the speech, the award going to Fernando Mendoza, and all the fanfare afterwards, including the whole Pavia situation, too? What were your thoughts?
I am a Heisman voter. Fernando Mendoza had my number one vote. I almost had Diego Pavia second, but I put Julian Sands second. And then I had Diego Pavia coming in third. And I have never felt better about my ballot than this year, watching not only the way things transpired championship, but also what happened in the aftermath, as some of the stuff was pure lunacy going around that, Fernando Mendoza might not fit in an NFL locker room. Like, what are we talking about? I would take that to be my franchise quarterback. He is authentic, which I think is all you want to look for. And I thought his speech was close to perfect. So I loved every minute of it. And then in the aftermath of the Heisman, when Diego Pavia is out partying and is, flipping the birds up to every Heisman voter, I think that just cemented why I don't like him. Like, personally, I love the way he plays the game, but man, and I get there are different styles, and, some people like a brash, cocky guy who, wants to go against the grain, but you show up to an interview with, ESPN with headphones on, and you can't even bother to take them off while you're meeting some of the Heisman trust. That, to me, just shows a complete lack of awareness and immaturity that I would not want to take a risk on as an NFL team. And I don't think Diego Pavia is going to get drafted probably till the 6th or 7th round for all of those reasons. One, I don't think his game translates, but also because people do not like the way he's carried himself through all of this.
All right, so the Mendoza translation to you, is there a good fit? Let's just say we'll look ahead to the spring, hypothetically here. The fit, is that anywhere at quarterback? Is there one spot better? How do you think he translates at the next level as quarterback in the NFL?
Oh, I love his game. I mean, he's tall. He's got a cannon for an arm. He's mobile, which is becoming a prerequisite to play quarterback. I would say I would not want to go to Cleveland. I don't think you want any part of the Shedeur Sanders circus. You just don't want to be involved in that. The Jets are another place that could be a destination. Again, they haven't had the greatest success with quarterbacks. The spot, if I was Fernando, there's two. I would want to go to the Raiders. You've got Pete Carroll, who they're going to have a new offensive coordinator. I think that becomes huge. But you have Brock Bowers, one of the more talented tight ends we've seen, and Ashton Genty in the backfield. You've got some weapons around you. And I think that's a place that you could go potentially and make an impact. And if you're not ready to play, they've got Geno Smith, who I think would be a great mentor for you early in your career. So I would love that. And then selfishly, I'm a Miami Dolphin fan. I would love to see him on the Miami Dolphins. The problem is they might have to trade up to get him, and I don't know what they're going to be willing to go up and get. And if I was Fernando, I would want to go to Miami with a new head coach and a new general manager, like a cleaned house where you are the selection of the new general manager and the new coach, and they're going to be committed to you for the next decade. So those are kind of my ideal situations for Fernando.
So Danny Kanell, who joins us, you mentioned the Miami situation and those that are looking for quarterbacks and, the first round selection too. And yeah, I saw this yesterday. I think the Worldwide put this out with Tua, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, Bryce Young, Kenny Pickett, and of course here with Anthony Richardson Sr., all first round selections since 2020, and all have been periodically benched over that time. And a lot of people are pointing the finger at a quarterback developmental problem in the NFL. Do you buy that?
Somewhat. I mean, I think the quarterback position has never been easier to play. And I think that's one of the reasons Phillip Rivers came back. He's watching how protected quarterbacks are, and he's like, hey, I can do this. And we've seen Joe Flacco throw for 470 yards earlier this season. And we've seen go look at Drake May. He is tearing up the NFL in his second year, and I know it didn't go great this past weekend, but he's been awesome. So, I think there is the ability to succeed. I think there are way too many teams that follow the NBA model where you're going to draft potential. And I think some of those quarterbacks you have drafted on, I think Anthony Richardson Sr. is a great example. He only played in 13 games, and he was, a project, and they knew that. But to me, there's no way I would have taken Anthony Richardson. Going into that draft, I thought he was the biggest boomer bust pick of the class. And sure enough, it looks like it probably is going to err on the side of bust. Who knows if he can get everything straight, get healthy, and get an opportunity. But I think there's way too many. I would want to see a quarterback who started multiple years. And I almost think I'd rather have a quarterback that played at a place where he was 8-4. He wasn't the best player on the team. Or played with a ton of 4 and 5 stars around him and helped elevate his program, where he played under some duress, some adversity, some high leverage situations. That's why I think it's really hard to judge Alabama quarterbacks. We're dealing with it here in Miami with Tua Tagovailoa because he, Mac Jones, others, everything's perfect. They have all day to throw. They have the best wide receivers running wide open down the field, and they're putting up crazy numbers. I would rather see a guy like a Fernando Mendoza who's helped elevate and made huge plays in critical situations like against Ohio State, like against Penn State, because those are the types of situations you're going to be in every single week in the NFL.
Yeah, courtesy of betonline.ag, it's Danny Kanell, the former NFL collegiate quarterback, kind enough to join us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. You brought up Phillip Rivers. So what did you think about, after 5 years on his hiatus for retirement, coming back in the game in Seattle last Sunday? And do you think it's a smart move to continue to start him coming up on Monday night against San Francisco here?
Couple things. One, because I watched that game closely. As an old guy myself, I was very curious to see how it would go. And I thought you saw somebody who had command of the offense. That was probably the most impressive thing, is I think he got them in good runs. He knew where to go with the football. He didn't get them in trouble. But then on the flip side, I am very surprised the Seahawks were not more aggressive with the blitz and bringing pressure against Phillip Rivers. I think you'll see a lot more of that and a lot more challenge to throw the ball deeper down the field, which I do think it's still a little bit scary, but I thought the Seahawks still played with a little bit too much respect for Phillip Rivers and the career he had as opposed to playoff bubble. So I think they should keep rolling with Phillip.
So Danny Kanell is with us, which brings us to the further question. The Achilles injury, Daniel Jones, and, obviously before he was compromised first with that fibula crack, things started after that kind of circling the drain a little bit. And he does have, in his past, the 6 previous years as a member of the Giants, an injury history. How do you think, how much stock would you put into, if you were the Colts, bringing him back, obviously at a much lower, different dollar figure, and then inserting or reinserting, in this case, him as the starter? Not even so much about who he is as a quarterback, but also observing his injury history, which cut his season short this season. Would you go with Daniel Jones if you're the Colts for the short-term future, at least trying to deal with his injury moving forward?
I love Daniel Jones as a New York Giant. I was rooting for him, but I was cautious this year with Daniel Jones because we saw flashes of that in New York, where at times he played great, but I thought he did get exposed as not being the most consistent player in the world, especially when you take away the run game, which we've seen happen, or when you get pressure on him. And as you alluded to, the injury history does come into play. So I almost feel like if you come with Daniel Jones next year, even at a reduced rate, I feel like you're just kicking the can down the road. And I feel like every team's mission should be to find a quarterback that you can go with for 8 to 10 years. And wherever you have to find that quarterback, I feel like you'd be looking there. And I just don't think that's Daniel Jones. Now, that's easier said than done, because if you draft somebody and you're not going to have a great draft position, where does that leave you? So then you're looking at free agency. Are there better options out there? I would try to get Daniel Jones on a shorter-term deal as cheaply as I could, and then draft somebody and continue to draft a player like maybe in the 2nd or 3rd round, and then follow the same motto unless, things fall apart and you have a top 5 pick. But I would keep drafting and trying to go with as many quarterbacks as I could until I found the one that was going to be my 8 to 10 year guy.
Yeah, they've been doing that for a while around here now, too. Yeah. BetOnline.ag brings us Danny Kanell.
Easy.
Yeah, on the Eddie Moore Automotive Group hotline. I do want to double back to IU. Your thoughts about the Hoosiers, Rose Bowl, Alabama or Oklahoma? What is a better, or what do you think is going to be the matchup in the Rose Bowl for Kurt Cignetti and the Hoosiers and their chances to move forward to a national title game ultimately?
Either one, I like Indiana, even with the loss of Stephen Daly, who is a significant loss. I hated that. And I actually saw it unfold at the Big Ten championship game after the game. I was like, that was crazy. But I do think they're the better team of both of those opponents. And I actually like Oklahoma this weekend. I think as an underdog playing at home, I think they do win. Alabama's been reeling, and we're supposed to ask them to get their mojo back and their confidence back against one of the best defenses in the SEC. And then I think that'll be a lower scoring game. My favorite play is the under in that one. Oklahoma's defense is really good, but they have not done great against good offenses, or I should say good quarterbacks. I think Fernando Mendoza would be able to score points, and I think you would only need 24, maybe even 21 points to beat Oklahoma because their offense is a complete disaster, and I think Indiana would be able to shut them down. So I do have Indiana advancing through whoever they play to the next round.
You do a great job. BetOnline.ag. You can see that, and Danny Kanell is here because of them. And all the college football props and that. You got a favorite prop here in closing, by the way?
What are some of them? I don't have the list in front of me.
Well, I probably should have the list in front of me, too, but I don't. Let's see. How about just this? Big Ten or SEC national champion?
Oh, Big Ten.
Yeah.
I think there are 3 Big Ten teams that can win it, Indiana, Ohio State, or Oregon. I think there's only one out of the SEC in Georgia. So you're getting 3 for the price of 1. I like the Big Ten.
Hey, don't tell your guys at betonline.ag that my ass was not prepared in that circumstance, okay?
We'll keep it our secret because I probably should have it out, too.
All right, man. I appreciate you. We'll catch back up as the playoffs move forward and we get closer to the playoffs of the NFL, too, Danny. I appreciate you.
Awesome. You got it, JMV. Have a good one.
It's Danny Kanell, betonline.ag for the latest right there. Sidestep my lack. I picked myself up there for a moment. Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline, is always right here. Road shows tomorrow and on Friday, and a big CBS number for the 44-year-old on Sunday, and that Colts loss on the road in Seattle. Back to that in a moment. And Matthew Graves from Indiana State, his return after a triple bypass. We'll do that and more coming up at the 5 o'clock hour. Sit tight. Also, bullseye passes in the next 15 for somebody to win on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Welcome to Wawa. We're open 24/7, so when the sun goes down but everyone's still up, Wawa has your late night fuel. Headed to a hangout? Stop in for snacks and sodas. Binge your favorite shows with burgers and hoagies. Gather around the table with garlic knots and a cheesy Wawa pizza. Or just chill on the couch with fries and whatever milkshake sounds good. Your night just got a whole lot tastier. Freshly made burgers, pizza, and so much more. When you got a late night craving, you got a Wawa. Price and participation may vary by store.
Yeah, I mentioned tomorrow, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Zul Tequila Shots. Week 16, is it, James? Is it week 16 or 17? 16, yeah. I'm sorry, I got kind of lost in the shuffle there for a moment. That is the week that we're doing tomorrow. I think I had a pretty decent week last week. We'll go over that, Brent and I, and you at Coach's Tavern. Tommy S. is going to be on hand as well. Downtown Coach's Tavern, large-scale samples for everybody in attendance, too. It is just a great time. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots, and I know Brent will want me to remind you, make sure you check out, my mom has already threw an entire bottle, $750 of the white chocolate peppermint thing from Evan Williams. She's through an entire bottle. I don't know what that says, but it does say that she loves it, and this time of year, it tastes good. You can get that, too, with Heaven Hill Distillery. Heaven Hill Distillery and the Larceny Bourbon Locks and the Luna Azul Tequila Shots coming up tomorrow. Coach's Tavern, we start at 3. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
107.5 The Fan and Franciscan Health present Good for the Heart Fridays. Listen to Jake Query every Friday to hear a heartwarming story from our local community. Jake knows firsthand the importance of heart health. Jake and The Fan have teamed up with Franciscan Health to make a difference, one beat at a time. Good for the Heart Fridays, brought to you by Franciscan Health Heart Center. Learn proactive measures to keep your heart healthy and schedule your heart scan at franciscanhealth.org/screening bundles.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling. Tyler Swindow is the owner's son, and he's the one in charge of the techs who will do the work in your home.
So we get a lot of customers that are like, hey, I'm not going to be able to meet you there. Can I just give you the door code? One thing I always tell, like, anytime I ever get that question is, I can tell you all of the technicians that we have, if I wouldn't let them in my house, I'm not going to let them in your house. So all of our technicians are trustworthy.
Just go to PricePointComfort.com. Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hey, it's Big Red Liquors. How about this? Pappy Claus is coming to town. Your last chance raffle of 2025. Are you guys ready? Because I know you love this. I mean, it's almost like fighting words when you hear about Pappy, and you can get that. Head to Big Red Liquors locations and sign up to get registered. 1 entry per person per day for a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle, starting right now through Monday of next week. All winning bottles will be delivered to stores before Christmas. We're talking Pappy Van Winkle 10-year, 12-year and 15-year. Get signed up today. Again, once per day per Big Red Liquors location. But you're fortunate there are 100-plus locations in the state of Indiana, and I promise there's one near you. To find it online, bigredliquors.com.
It's JMV for BullseyeEventGroup.com, the Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. All you can eat, all you can drink. Before each Colts home game, make your game day experience the best it can be. Entertained inside the Bullseye Event Center and the great food from celebrity chef Kelsey Murphy. That and more, and combo up your passes with tickets to the game. That's the BullseyeEventGroup.com Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Get your passes now. BullseyeEventGroup.com.
Hey, Colts fans, Crown Royal is a proud partner of the Indianapolis Colts, and this season it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with a generous spirit. Visit www.crownroyal.com/royal rig for more on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
The following is a district-wide service announcement from the District Tap.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. Wait, hey, can we say that? Damn good food?
Yes, I'm told that damn good food is totally acceptable. Go ahead and pick it up from there.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. And don't get me started on all the sports at the tap. Over 60 big f***ing screens with as much NFL and collegiate football action as you can handle. Weeknight matchups? Yeah, we have weeknight games. Looking for a spot downtown to catch that game? Get your f***ing ass over to our new downtown location at the corner of Georgia Street and Meridian. Game on at the District Tap. How's that?
Fan-tastic.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. North at 82nd Street, just east of Keystone at the Crossing, and downtown at the corner of Georgia Street and Meridian. Online at thedistricttap.com.
With Wawa's Rewards program, you can rack up points on the items you buy every day, even fuel. Boost your totals with a breakfast sizzly. Score points with your morning coffee. With Wawa Rewards, points put the power in your hands. You can choose to redeem them for what you love most, like an iced latte for an extra pick-me-up, or your lunchtime hoagie. Download the Wawa app today. When you gotta get rewarded, you gotta Wawa. Fuel rewards not available in New Jersey or were legally prohibited. See full details at wawarewards.com. Price and participation may vary by store.
The Ride with JMV.
I am the cream, yeah. The cream of the crop. And there is no one that does it better.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
I don't know, James. More popular than Pearl Jam in Seattle, evidently, right? A little bit younger than Eddie Vedder, too. Phillip Rivers. I mentioned this a little bit earlier to Kevin Bowen, courtesy of Zach Kiefer. And CBS Sports PR, Sunday's game in Seattle was the most watched Colts game in the Indianapolis market on CBS in 5 years. Again, that according to CBS PR. Robbie writes this, JMV, I love Rivers as much as the next guy, but I can go in and throw 4-yard passes and hand the ball off. They need Richardson to play and play well, so maybe someone will take him off our hands. That is going to be a mystery. I don't know how much you're going to find out about that particular mystery coming up tomorrow when they're back at practice. He has been medically cleared, but there is little to nothing so far as we glean regarding his situation. You do know, however, the situation in snacking, high level, Wen Schuler's original sharp cheddar bacon and cheddar and jalapeno pepper. You can find the ultimate spreadability and incredible snacking of Wen Schuler's. Neiman's Harvest Market, Carmel, Gordon's Food Service, and Meyer locations across the state of Indiana. That is Wen Schuler's. Thank you all for the birthday wishes as well. I know Pacers General Manager Chad Buchanan checked in with that too. Celebrated 56 yesterday. Had a great time down at Twin Peaks in Greenwood with all of you. I mean, my friend John was down there. Blake was hanging out with me, my son. He was talking to everybody. Gilly was there. Man, everybody. Harley D was on board. I saw so many of you. And let's go ahead and give something away right now, James. You want to? Text line 317-239-1070. Bullseye passes for the Monday night gathering, that pregame party. I've got a couple of passes for you. Number 30 on the text line at 317-239-1070. All you can eat, all you can drink. DJ Skids, Laura Steele, me for a while too. Outstanding. BullseyeEventGroup.com. By the way, they also have Rose Bowl tickets for you. If you don't have any, you want to attend. But right now it's about passes to the Monday night or the Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration at 317-239-1070. Number 30 on the text line. You're a winner. Matthew Graves, Indiana State, his story and more on the other side, and you as well. Don't go anywhere. Stream the app, AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live at 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
This time of year, it's about the snacking, and you want to do some elite-level snacking, right? Whether you're watching football, maybe it's a little bit of hoop, but seriously, on a cracker, a chip, a vegetable? How about a burger? The spreadability of Win Schuler's and their fantastic cheese spreads from original cheddar, sharp cheddar, bacon and cheddar, and jalapeno pepper. The spreadability of Win Schuler's, you can find it. Win Schuler's, Gordon's Food Service, in your favorite Meijer location across the state of Indiana.
This Christmas, get a bonus AI Essentials course when you enroll in any My Computer Career IT program by the end of the year. That's a $3,900 value. Attend classes online or on campus. Enjoy lifetime job placement support and IT certifications in high demand. Go to mycomputercareer.edu today and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Conditions apply to AI offer, and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
No, you guys are pounding the text line right now for the BullseyeEventGroup.com Colts VIP tailgate passes. You know, it's funny. We were talking about maybe the game not being as interesting to many out there as it once was. I know that you guys want to party pregame-wise, and the best party, BullseyeEventGroup.com and the Colts VIP tailgate. All you can eat, all you can drink, and Skids is not only going to be the entertainment for you, he is at some point going to put together a great night of New Year's Eve entertainment for the triumphant return of the JMV takeover on B105.7. That's DJ Skids. You can check him out. Laura Steele as well. And again, just great food. Kelsey Murphy, the celebrity chef, has your back on that too. It's going to be a great time. BullseyeEventGroup.com. And don't forget to ask about the tickets they have available for you for the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. That and more. Log on. Be a part of it. BullseyeEventGroup.com.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We know you can get your holiday gifts anywhere these days, but knowing your loved one's gift was crafted by master jewelers? It's a difference everyone can see and feel, no matter the price. All of our fine jewelry begins with a vision by our in-house designers. Then, we ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. It's why our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive, free lifetime warranty that covers everything and doesn't cost a dime. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry to be nothing short of perfect. Come see for yourself. Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, I'm looking out for you here. The car buying experience, I've got one-stop shopping. I have it easy for you with my friend Eric Wilson and Andy Moore Buick GMC, 131st State Road 37 in Fishers. Why easy? Because they have everything you want. They take care of you. You are their first job, and that is to make sure the entire experience is overwhelmingly happy and easy and hassle-free for you. Eric Wilson has you covered from the inventory, the incentives to buy, and then what you're going to get, the highest quality of service after the sale to maintain an even higher level of life expectancy for that purchase. That's why you go one-stop shopping at one place with my friend Eric Wilson and Andy Moore Buick GMC, 131st State Road 37 in Fishers.
Four Winds South Bend's Ribbontown Event Center will be transformed into a night of glitz and glamour for a New Year's Eve party to remember. Enjoy live entertainment featuring DJ Jellyfish and Naughty, party favors, appetizers, and a cash bar. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Dress to impress and ring in 2026 with a party at Four Winds South Bend. your entertainment escape.
Getting more as a MyLowe's Pro Rewards member is easier than ever with the Lowe's app. Download it today and earn 500 points the first time you log in. Plus, your digital wallet helps you scan, save, earn, and access what you need to manage it all in one place. Download the Lowe's app and take advantage of your Pro benefits today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 12/1/25 through 1/7/26. Offer valid for first login per organization only. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Additional restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
JMV, thinning hair this year. Grow your hair back like I did. Call 317-522-2995 or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
No matter where you're headed, it's nice to know Hubler's got you covered for 200,000 miles. Visit DriveHubler.com or any of the 13 Hubler locations.
From the DriveHubler.com studios, this is 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
WIBC HD2, HD3, Indianapolis.
The Ride with JMV.
You are more reptile than man, George. So low and flat that the foot of man is incapable of crushing you. How dare you!
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. New studios downtown, about a mile north. We're at Meridian and St. Joe's. There's a coffee shop right next door called Quills. I haven't been there. We're snuggled between Quills and a place where I'm going to spend a little bit of time, probably with Hammer and Nigel. The Living Room Lounge. The Living Room Lounge has my name written all over it over there. Special noon gatherings and get-togethers, show prep at the Living Room Lounge and at Quills. We're basically diagonal from Channel 13. We are a block south of the Landmark Center and basically a block and a half south of 65 and 70 right there, where I can tell you, I'm no Matt Bear, but I can tell you by my view of 65 and 70 here near north side of downtown, it is moving rather smoothly right now. Now, I don't know. I get the vision of it of about 500 feet. So 500 feet looks as if it is working and moving rather smoothly. But shout out to everybody here in the building, all coming together and trying to get things going. And I know occasionally things are going to foul up. But let's face it. I mean, yesterday it could have been just awesome had I don't know, when I was on the air and I thought I was off the air. James, are you nervous about what you might end up getting out of me? Because I think we could sell that as a segment. Let's listen into what JMV's talking about when he thinks he's off the air.
Just your candid thoughts when you're not aware a microphone's hot.
Would anybody out there like to sponsor that? I think we can get that sponsored.
We could do something with it.
I think we could get that sponsored. But everybody's working ass off around here to get something done. And it is not going to be a seamless transition. But really, neither is this show. So we're all kind of working hand in hand to try to get this going. I will say this. For the JMV takeover on New Year's Eve, we have all new equipment, and this is going to be like me. So what's the new video game systems out there? I have no idea.
I mean, they're not really new anymore, but the current gen is like PS5, Xbox.
Well, I'm going to be like working with an Atari 2600 compared to what they're about to throw me into, and I have no idea what I'm doing. None whatsoever. Danny Kanell, a little bit earlier, was on the show. The former NFL and collegiate quarterback, Tom Crean, the former collegiate coach at IU and on ESPN and Peacock. Also a little bit earlier, Kevin Bowen, also on the show. Coach's Tavern, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. That is coming up tomorrow as well. So a shout out to everybody, too. It was great seeing you yesterday. And Bullseye Passes, I'll hopefully have some more for you here before we bail at 6 o'clock. Meantime, let's get the welcome mat out for a good friend. We are GC Bros. He from Switch City, White River Valley. Me from Owensburg, Eastern, what I used to call Eastern High School, now Eastern Green. He's the head coach of the Indiana State Sycamores, and he has been through it since the middle of October, but we are glad that seemingly he is out clean, much like Shawshank on the other side. The head coach of the Sycamores and our good friend Matthew Graves joins us now. Hello, Matt. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing very, very well. That's
I like that Shawshank reference. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I bet it kind of seems like that. I mean, I know that was like a prison escape scene, and there's no comparison here, but I'm just thinking what you have been through health-wise. Let's start here. I mean, it was fortunate that your situation was detected when it was, because clearly things could have been worse. But I think also just as clear the fact that you're making your return you already have, when the Sycamores played on the road against Milwaukee. I know Mark's still the head coach here, but you are back and getting your feet wet once again speaks volumes about how you're feeling right now and how things are going.
Yeah, there's no question. One, I'm so thankful for sort of time being able to get back on my feet, recover, be around the team and practice, the last couple weeks and observe and, make some comments and things like that. And now, it's right here after Christmas, I'm anticipating being back full-time coaching. So it's getting close. It's going to be a great post-Christmas for me.
We just did an event called Movember. To make sure people went out and, found out some things about themselves, got some numbers checked and such. And listen, I'm a violator of this as well. I half-assedly pay attention to what's going on with my bod as well at the age now of 56. But a story like yours, it resonates with folks. I mean, it just really does, because, I mean, there was some good fortune in the bad situation in which back in October you were thrust into here.
Yeah, there's no question, and you have the same, a similar platform. I'm fortunate enough to have a platform. People know, who we are, and if something that you're going through, a lot of times people want to keep, things very, very private. But in this situation, being able to talk about getting checked out, and when you're not feeling well. Trying to get that figured out, and don't be afraid to go see a doctor. Don't put it off, until something bad happens. That's the one thing I'm so thankful of, is the timing of this. It could have worked out different, because when I went in and after they ran all the tests and did everything, and they were doing the heart cath, they thought maybe put 1 or 2 stents in and I'll be back in a week. And, it was towards that mid-October, and I was like, yeah, I can do that. I'll be back to, coach when we go to Butler. I was so excited about taking our Sycamores to, play an exhibition game at Butler. I was like, yeah, I'll be back in about a week. And then, you get the news that, hey, it's a lot worse than that. And, we've got to get this taken care of. And, that really, I don't want to make it this grandiose thing that it saved my life, but boy, it sure, helped to get that taken care of right now, because otherwise, if they said, hey, it's going to be a long procedure, you're going to be out a month or two, I would have probably asked the question, hey, can I just wait till after the season? And you never know, so, the timing worked out, and certainly somebody was looking out for me for sure.
Yeah. Now, what kind of feeling did you, was it like a moment where motion on health would be one of those things? Was it something that struck you where you knew that something had to be done and done immediately, or did it take somebody motivating and talking to you to get you to go and get checked out? And then ultimately, I think you can say that it probably saved significant. I mean, you can say save. I think it's okay. You're not over dramatic saying it saved your life.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is, I didn't have a great summer. Usually, I'm not that much overweight, maybe 10, 15 pounds. And this summer, it got away from me a little bit, so I probably put on an extra 10 pounds. And when I got back from vacation, mid-late August, I was like, okay, I'm going to get back after it, consistently, get on the treadmill, walk, lift weights, lose 25 pounds by Christmas. That was the goal. And throughout the month of September and into early October, I would start exercising, and I'd have, some tightness in my chest, but it was only when I was exercising, and, I'd sit down and relax and, shower, change clothes, be ready for work. During coaching, it really didn't bother me, but every time I just couldn't get onto that next step of exercising and push myself. I always had to stop. And at that point, after, about a month of going through that, it was like, man, something's not right here. And so I talked to our basketball trainer, and then, he put me in touch with our team physician, and, kind of the rest is history. The next week I did echo and stress test and all that stuff, and they couldn't find anything that was really wrong. My numbers were good, and, I don't have any history in the family, and I'm a non-smoker, and all those things finally the cardiologist just said, look, the only way I'm going to know for sure what's going on is to do a heart cath. And, he was completely shocked when he got in there and found out how severe, 3 blockages were. And, he said, you're not, it was on a Friday, and he's like, you're not going home. You're staying in the hospital this weekend, and, Monday, Tuesday morning, we're going to get you fixed and get you back. So, just really thankful. And, the situation obviously could have turned out worse, but, something told me to really get this checked out, and, was able to do that.
So Matt Graves, the head coach of the Indiana State Sycamores, is back in not a complete head coaching capacity because Celeste is still doing that, but you'll be back soon enough. Do you know that I was nothing against Mark either. You know how much I like Mark, but I delayed my appearance over at the Holman Center, I think until early March, because I knew you were going to get your ass back and be good to go and better than ever. So I delayed that. I did hear the rumor that you're going to be doing the Sycamore Siren, and yes,
I'll tell you what, our athletic director Nathan Christensen, kind of spearheaded the idea, and it's really went well. And boy, they get that siren cranked up and loud, and it's really a neat tradition. And I think there's some people they've got planned to come back and do the siren at different times throughout the year. That's really going to be nice to get back some of the former, whether it's a coach or former alumni, back in the building. It's just a great idea.
It is, and no doubt about that. All right, Matt Graves joins us. You guys tomorrow night at home, I believe, against Bradley tomorrow night, right? Yep. How are things going right now? Winners of 3 straight?
Yeah, winners of 3 straight, and we finished 7-4 in the non-conference. We were solid. Right now we're a little bit kind of bitten by the injury bug, but everybody goes through it, and we're looking forward to the start of Missouri Valley Conference play for us and Bradley. They're 7-4 as well, and they're coming in on a 4-game win streak, so certainly should be a great game, and looking forward to the gauntlet that's the Missouri Valley. And I'm excited this year, now that Missouri State's out of the league. We're playing a true round robin, playing everybody twice, a 20-game schedule, so it should be a lot of fun all the way till March.
Well, listen, I'm really happy for you, know that. And what game are you going to come back and you're good to go? Is there did I miss it earlier?
If all goes well, I've got to do another test or 2 this week, but the plan is to be back Monday, December 29th. We play Belmont, and Belmont's having somewhat of a really good year. They're 11-1, playing very well. So, you might as well get started and get back in the fire right away. So that's the kind of have that date circled on my calendar, and then excited about the possible return to full time.
Excellent too. I don't know this to be true. I know Union Health helped you out a great deal. Shout out to them over in Vigo County because they do a lot of great stuff, including what they did for you. Who was your Greene County doctor growing up? Do you remember?
You know what? I want to say, if I'm thinking about it, I went to a doctor in Vincennes was our family doctor.
Oh, so, you went to
yeah.
Was that Good Samaritan Hospital where you went back then?
Man, I can't remember what that was. I've slept a few times since then, but you know what? Now that you say that, I might have to ask my mom that question.
Yeah, you need to ask. I'm just kind of curious because there was one in Bloomfield, and I don't know. It was a little bit. He may have been retired, but if you remember. Carrie Mount that played at Bedford North Lawrence. Her grandfather was Dr. Mount in Bloomfield, and he always gave us our physicals at Eastern.
Okay.
We did kind of that line, where you go in and go through and around. It was.
Well, you have to be careful though when you're from Swift City going across the river there over to Bloomfield or Eastern Green, you got to be careful how much you're liked when you go over there. So.
Well, let me tell you what, I don't think anybody feels comfortable about going to your side of the river either, brother. Let me tell you.
No doubt.
I mean, listen, the Linton Hospital looks like the one in Halloween Part 2. All right, there's never any lights on. Doesn't look like anybody's home when you go there. So no, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm just joking.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, that's probably, though, at the end of the day, why my mom drove us to Vincennes.
That's great. Hey, I'm glad we're able to joke about this and feel good, but I am very happy you're on the trail back because I know what you and the family and all of our friends over at Indiana State went through. But I'm very happy for you, man. It's good, and continue that healing process and getting better. And then me on the siren coming up here. Latter portions of the season. I expect to be seeing the best basketball being played of the season at that point in time, too, okay?
We need to be. That's the plan, and it was great to catch up with you, and, happy holidays, and look forward to talking to you again soon.
You got Matt. Hey, congrats on that road back, and give everybody my best over there, okay, buddy?
Will do. Thank you.
That's Matthew Graves, the head coach of Indiana State. Mark Schlesinger, again, is acting as the head coach. Matt has been back. Matt returned with their win over Milwaukee in their last game. They've won 3 straight. They get Bradley. He'll be in the same capacity tomorrow night over at the Holman Center versus Bradley. That is Matthew Graves, and that is good to hear. And I do know that, James, was that our phone that was doing that? Because it wasn't his, was it?
Yeah, it's something going on with our phone lines right now.
I'm not. It's tough to apologize for it because there's nothing can be done. But I do hate it because something like that was jacked up a little bit there. So I hope that you hung with it. I mean, you hang with me, and there's nothing more jacked up than me. So hopefully you hung with it because there was a very important message, and one that I also need to listen to, and one that for the past month leading up to the week before last that we wanted to make sure we were impactful for you is, make sure you know about your health. Listen, there's nobody out there that half-asses it more than I do with that. And people are telling me that all the time. You got to do this and you got to do that. And I end up doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. But I mean, at some point, you need that motivation to do it now because you may end up finding out things that will save your life. And, the measures that were taken, the triple bypass, I mean, that was significant. And it was great that he found that out when he did back in October. But again, sorry about the phone situations there, but I don't know what can be done. I just want to make sure that the true message didn't get lost in the shuffle of that right there. Podcast at 1075thefan.com. I will say this. If you guys remember the original Halloween Part 2? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Remember the hospital in that where Jamie Lee Curtis was in? It was like all dark and there was never any lights on. Mm-hmm. And, the nurses are diddling in the hot tubs. And I mean, there's all stuff going on. Everybody just running wild. That's kind of how the Linton Hospital on his side of the river in Greene County always reminded me. Not like that anymore. It's Greene County General. But that's kind of what that reminded me of back in the day. Halloween Part 2 right there, which is really funny. And I cannot wait to be on the Siren. I like Halloween Part 2. I don't think a lot of people like that because the original with John Carpenter was great, and he was not a part of that one, right?
I don't think he was. To be honest,
Yeah.
I don't really remember a lot about Halloween.
I thought you were a
Part 2.
horror movie guy.
I do. I like
Okay.
horror movies, but I mean, to be fair, Michael Myers has never really been
Really?
my guy. I was always a Freddy Krueger guy. I always liked Nightmare on Elm Street.
Understand. I got you. This from Kent and Indy, JMV at 317-239-1070. You absolutely need to go to the living room. Canned beer, cheap food, great time. I recommend it highly. You don't have to tell me twice. Hey, JMV, I installed the elevators on the Landmark Center back in the day. The living room lounge is right up your alley. Sort of like the workingman's friend. Shout out. Brian in Lafayette chimes in. The new segment, Anything Goes with JMV, sponsored by the Odin Meat Locker. Shout out to the Odin Meat Locker, too. Yeah, we're thinking about a new segment where I just James just pots me up, and what that means is turns me up. I don't want to say turns me on because that's really weird, but turns me up when I'm on location, when I'm just randomly talking off the air, thinking I'm off the air, and what we might find out could be said during those moments.
We could take bets on how often I have to hit the dump button during those segments.
How about that? Do we have a dump button that works in there?
We do. Supposedly. I have been told where the dump button is. I have not tested it.
I still don't have one in here, right? I don't think.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
That could be on the way, though.
Could be on the way, according to James right there. JMV, good afternoon, sir. I'm trying to get someone from the Colts to understand that maybe they would win on Monday Night Football if they had Santa Claus there. I'm Santa Claus. Any help or suggestions would be absolutely the best. I've emailed the event email with the Colts as well as Blue. Can Blue email? I mean, Blue can't talk. Blue can't text.
He has
Blue,
he has a Twitter account.
Oh, really?
I think
who
so.
does it for him? Does he got like grunt to text or something like that? And he got no digits. I'll be at the Colts facility on Saturday for the Bleed Blue blood drive, so I'm going to try to work my magic to convince them then. But you know, of any other way, I'd appreciate that. So this is Mr. Claus right here. Santa Claus wants to be a part of Monday Night Football. So if Blue is listening, anybody that has significant pull, how much pull does the mascot have with the Colts? What do you think?
I doubt he's making too many big decisions.
Do you think the mascot has more pull than anybody on the team, anybody within the organization?
Like an actual authority figure?
I'm just wondering.
You know, that would be hilarious to find out if Blue was the one making all the choices and was actually the one running the team.
So Colts, Santa Claus wants to be there on Monday. Santa Claus. Hey, quick break. We'll come back. I've got time for you. 239-1070 on the other side. Remember, tomorrow, Roadshow, Friday Roadshow. I'll explain. Bullseye passes and more still to come. Thank you all for joining us with Tom Crean, Danny Kanell, Kevin Bowen, Matthew Graves. The podcast at 1075thefan.com. Do not go anywhere. More of the show in these brand new studios. Hey, check it out, too. The AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. Make sure you have the open road support coming up this winter of AAA. A great holiday gift-giving idea. Plus, you can check out the new digs with my grill. And listen, look at those chiseled features right there, James. Right above my head, you see my chiseled features. It's nice on video right there.
I'm really glad we ended up swapping out the cover image for the show, and that's
Can you
not the old
imagine
one.
if it was like the fat me up there right here?
Just
And
a
that
permanent before and after.
Hell, that just changed like 2 weeks ago, too. That'd be pretty funny. You can check that out, too. The AAA Membership Lounge, the new studio. Quick break. We'll come back. Your calls and more to close on this Wednesday. Don't go anywhere. Back with you next.
Hi, this is
Lloyd,
Jessica,
Robert, and Adam
from Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning in Pittsboro. The Kirby family wishes you the merriest of Christmases and happiest of New Year's. Thanks for your business. We really appreciate it. If you live in Hendricks or surrounding counties and need us, we are always here to help. Kirby services any model, and we proudly install American Standard products. Call us at 317-892-3614.
Kirby is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Happy holidays from Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning.
Not John here, and especially this time of year, I feel compelled to try to help you in many experiences in which in the past I have failed. And certainly in the ring buying experience, I was a tremendous failure. But fellas, I can help pick you up because this is something you're going to wear forever if you don't do it right. That's why you need the expertise, the elite level expertise of Dan Moyer and Moyer Fine Jewelers in Carmel. They only sell natural diamonds, hand-selected, top quality at competitive prices. And to make things easier, you mentioned my name. This is something you can get in return. Say, JMV sent me. They're going to give you $500 off your engagement ring purchase now through Christmas Eve. That's Moyer Fine Jewelers in Carmel. Online, MoyerFineJewelers.com. Exclusions apply. Plus, the whole Christmas gift buying experience has never been kind to me either, but I feel really good now that Dan Moyer is on my side. Lauren and the gang on my side. They can help you as well because it's family owned, no gimmicks, and the best lineup of engagement rings, jewelry, and what about this? A watch selection that is unmatched anywhere in Indy. Omega, Breitling, David Urban, and more, all under one roof. So you do not have to be like me and fail this holiday season. Go big for a reason and be a hero this time of year. And mention my name for that engagement ring purchase. Get $500 off. That's Moyer Fine Jewelers, just north of 146th Street in Carmel. MoyerFineJewelers.com.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26, new customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
2 locations strategically marked for you to have, fellas, ladies, a tremendous date night. Are you ready for that? The happy hour specials, guys, that's going to be easy. Hey, listen, you're paying, fellas. This is on you. Happy hour specials, robust, damn good food, TVs everywhere. So even if you're making that eye contact across from you, maybe you glance at what's going on with your favorite team as they're in action. So that works for you, guys and ladies, when you're out on a date, or maybe this the family experience you're going to find at the District Tap. And there are 2 locations, Clearwater Crossing and in downtown Indy. I can tell you this, there's no better location, again, downtown. You can pregame, and then you can postgame at the District Tap. And a shout out to Michael because he also puts together the opportunity this holiday season for you to have a great party, an office party, a work party. Their private rooms, their event space is available for you at both District Tap locations. Oh, by the way, too, live music, Clearwater Crossing, downtown Indy. It's your destination location. To find out more, thedistricttap.com.
Hey there, it's Jake Query with a question for you. What are your dinner plans? Or do you even have a plan? I want you to be a hero tonight. Be a winner. Be a champion as a dinner provider. Get the Chicago's $25 medium pizza special tonight. 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas and an order of fresh hot breadsticks, all for just $25. You can pick up, delivery, dine in, DoorDash, whatever it might be. Be a winner at dinner with the $25 medium pizza family meal deal. This is not cheap, average, fast chain pizza. This is pizza with crust, handmade every day and topped generously with fresh fresh ingredients made by local owner-operators who obsess over every slice. Add a salad, pasta, or sandwich to make any picky eater happy. Order online at chicagospizza.com. Click on your closest location and order the $25 medium pizza family meal deal. 25 is the special number, $25 medium pizza family meal deal, and 25 Indiana locations, 18 of them in Central Indiana. Make the entire family happy tonight. Even better, make yourself happy tonight with Chicago's Pizza. Chicago's Pizza, where there's a story told in every slice.
It's JMV for Indiana's best. My friend Eric Wilson and Andy Moore Buick GMC, 131st and State Road 37. It's in Fishers. Check it out right now. The GMC Acadia, good for you, the family, and the friends of the family. Inventory, car buying experience, service after the sale, the absolute best. It's one-stop shopping. Ask for Eric Wilson and head to Andy Moore Buick GMC, 131st and State Road 37 in Fishers. JMV here for my friends John and Chris Love at Love Heating and Air Conditioning. Make sure your home is cozy and comfortable during these icy cold winter months. Need heating service? Tell them JMV sent you. If a repair is needed, Love will waive the $95 service fee. And should you need a new furnace, Love is a Heil Heating and Cooling dealer. Call Love today, 317-353-2141. Let Love and Heil take care of your home today, 317-353-2141. Tell them JMV sent you.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
JMV here for my friends at Premier Weight Loss. You know what's funny? When I was in my teens, body exploration meant something completely different than it does now that I'm 56 years of age. I can say now that it means, where am I on my weight loss journey? Down nearly 80 pounds. How about my body fat percentage? Down from 35% to 13%. Now it's time to add muscle mass, or lean mass, if you will, with the tone stimulation machine that they have at Premier Weight Loss. You can do the same. Weight loss journey and then tone up with Thomas and Samantha and the gang at Premier Weight Loss. It will work for you. That's PWLND.com. Mention my name. For the first 10 days in the month of December, you could win 2 lower-level tickets to see the Niners and the Colts. If you want to lose the weight, if you want to feel better, it's PWLND.com. You can do it. Tell them JMV sent you. PWLND.com today.
The Ride with JMV.
Have you ever killed anyone?
Yeah, but they were all bad.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Rick Venturi sent me a note where he believes that Fernando Mendoza, in comparison, is Tom Brady look as a quarterback with wheels. I don't mind that comparison with the Boston re-entry right there. Thank you for joining us. 239-1070 is that number. Maybe some bullseye passes before we get out of here. Did you hear the electronic stimulation thing that I just did with Premier Weight Loss? You know, I've done that 3 times, and it is awesome. And I think I kind of go by the whole theory of if there's no pain, there's no gain. So I cranked it up right below electrocution yesterday on my abs, and it's absolutely working.
So that's where they put all those nodes on your body.
They put those. Yeah, they put the
zap it.
They do.
Ugh.
They and you can feel it. It felt like that. And I've never been able to say this before, and it makes me proud. It feels like they were grabbing my abs and trying to rip it out. It was awesome.
That does not sound awesome.
Well, I think it goes all the way up to 50. I don't know what this means, but I stopped at 42 yesterday. So stopped it. I think normal people do it. I wanted to see if I can make, because I'm just thinking, all right, if it's painful afterwards, then you can tell you've done work, because it's supposedly a couple 100,000 equivalent of sit-ups. That's what they say.
So
or stomach crunches.
Are you sore today? Are you feeling it today?
I was a little sore, not very sore, but a little sore. Yeah, I felt it. I could tell that I did it. But man, that stuff works. I've got like 3 more times I'm going to do that again too. We are shaping right now. Feeling good about that. But I do those anyway, but I'd never do like 180,000. Maybe a 500 or 1,000. I don't know if I'd ever do 180,000 in my existence.
Sit-ups?
Yeah.
Oh.
Doubt it.
I definitely haven't.
Pretty awesome, though. It really is. JMV, this text line to 317-239-1070. When it comes to AR, do you think it's relevant to discuss his 12 yards per pass attempt versus a league average of 8 in 2024, throwing the ball 50% further than league average per attempt? Is that really an AR problem, or did Steichen mismanage game flow of him coming back from injury? Would love your thoughts. I will tell you this. I think it is, Chris, a problem for both parties. I just think, as Danny Kanell said earlier, they took a shot on a long shot, and it hasn't, and unless something dramatically changes that nobody foresees, it won't happen. And I think that's, yet another reason among more than a handful as to why most people still are not sold on Shane Steichen. Because right now, when you look at this team, and I brought up the hypothetical to Kevin Bowen a little bit earlier, so we're both on the same page with believing the actions earlier this season have kind of dictated the terms on moving forward next year with the same 3 quarterbacks and also basically the same organizational pieces. And listen, I go back to January and with Chris Ballard prior to that, just wanting to make dramatic changes because I felt it was time. And there is no doubt that the time has come and gone for that. But when you ask me in the present if I think they're going to do it, I would tell you by what they did with the 2 first-rounders and digging into that back at the trade deadline, that to me, that tells you that they're going to be back. But what would change that? Would losing out this season and caving in as dramatically at the highest level as anybody ever has, would that then change the mind of ownership and Carly Ursay-Gordon? Should the way they've ended the season, or should it be the body of work alone would tell you that it's past time? Would you be able to get, considering the circumstances, what you want if you do want to move forward with a different choice? And I guess, as I mentioned, this is always coming down to the general manager, Chris Ballard, but what about the head coach and Shane Steichen? Like, how many of you believe in Shane Steichen and his coaching ability moving forward? So as much as I would like to sit here and tell you that, this is where I solidly am, I think it also is dependent upon how you go out. 3 more games to do so, and I would agree it doesn't much, even with those CBS numbers that I gave you a little bit earlier. I mean, in the past 5 years, there's been no Colts game in Indianapolis at CBS 4 that has been more watched than this past week in Seattle. But it seems like now there has been a dramatic shift with the whole Rivers phenomenon, and now you're thinking, well, okay, even though all you have to do, and I say all you have to do, is really win 2 out of the last 3 and put yourself in a significant position. You win 3 out of the last 3 and you're going to be in. But I don't think anybody out there would be willing to bet a dime on the Colts, hell, right now, being able to win 1 of the last 3, much less 2, and certainly not 3. So even though they are still incredibly in it, it just doesn't feel that way right now. That part, I think, is incredibly true. Probably will be until further notice. 317-239-1070. The text line is open. For as many games as Steichen has won with his genius label, he's lost twice as many with some dumbassery, is what's been described here. I do kind of wonder. I wonder if less than a month from now, we sit here with the same thought. I mean, should a game or two, should the conclusion, if you don't make it, should be that cut in, if you don't make it into the postseason, you move on? Again, you ask me a thought, and then you ask me what I think. And those are, I think, different circumstances right now. And then normally, with an NFL team, you kind of seem like you have the opportunity to make that quick change and make up ground. But you look at the Colts right now and what people like to call assets, and it doesn't look that rich. And it looks like maybe the best choice is to, as they like to say, run it back. And yes, I do understand that would be an incredibly difficult sell to the fan base. JMV, please let this be the end of the Ballard era in Indy. Also, the playoffs are not the goal. We keep harping on the playoffs. I'm going to stop you right there. I think while it shouldn't be the goal, and that sure as hell was not the goal at the trade deadline. That was not the goal. But let's just say the whole dynamic changes if they hit that particular mark. I don't think there's any doubt about that. All right, 239-1070. What do we got coming up later on tonight? It's right there in front of my face. Nothing, right? Then we got Pacers coming up. Pacers Knicks tomorrow night at 6:30. But the Knicks, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, they won the Emirates Cup last night over San Antonio, and some of the elite-level Knicks fans celebrated like they just won the NBA title. I think that is hilarious. Yeah, Friday, Bama, Oklahoma, 7:30 p.m. right here. You're going to find out who IU plays. If you missed any of the conversation earlier, and really some unique angles we had from Tom Crean being one, the former IU basketball coach, and what he was involved in there, knowing the football program then as to where it is right now, that unique perspective, and that of former collegiate and NFL quarterback Danny Kanell, and how he voted regarding the Heisman. And Fernando Mendoza being number one on his list. And then Diego Pavia, the actions afterwards, would that be costly? Yeah, that and the best case scenario for IU in that Rose Bowl, as we find out with Bama and Oklahoma in that first round matchup coming up on Friday night. If you missed that, Danny Kanell and Tom Crean podcast with both. 1075thefan.com. You got to love it. You are an idiot. I don't even know who this comes from right here. Colts players will this is the last one I got right here. The Colts players will step up. They will play their asses off for the old man. That's what the young guys do. Show respect. Now I'm an idiot. But they still lost, man. I'm the idiot. You sound like the idiot. Well done. The text line is a beautiful thing. JMV. In closing here, JMV, Big Glenn, you shaping or chafing? Actually, I used to do a lot of chafing, and now I'm chafing. Not shaving, but shaping. But not chafing either, Big Glenn. Thank you very much. JMV, maybe Santa Claus can bang the anvil on Monday night. Santa Claus actually sent me on the text line a little bit earlier a message where he would like to be involved in the Monday night festivities. JMV, myself, and Central Indiana Supercuts locations are mad now that we know we have to add 4 more years of Phillip Rivers. You know what's funny about that entire dynamic is you go back to Phillip Rivers year number 1 here, and, you know, that was the last time they were in the postseason. And that was significant because you thought that was a stepping stone, and they thought in particular he was going to be back for year number 2. And that among other things, led to this entire carousel of quarterbacks. You kind of wonder what may have happened had he stayed for year number 2. I mean, certainly we saw the shortcomings of his game, but he did lead them to the postseason, that postseason loss in Buffalo. But ideally, the Colts wanted 1 more year, and that didn't happen. And that kind of set the course for Carson Wentz, and then how that ended, and Matt Ryan, and how that never got started, and then ultimately where we are today, which is kind of amazing. All right, James, you want to do some more Bullseye stuff here? BullseyeEventGroup.com. That is the Colts VIP tailgate coming up on Monday. The idiot here says number 30 on the text line at 317-239-1070. The idiot is going to give you the opportunity to party. Pre-game party, all you can eat, all you can drink. BullseyeEventGroup.com and the Colts VIP tailgate before the Monday Nighter against the Niners. 317-239-1070. That is the text line, number 30. You're a winner. We'll lay it out for you both Thursday and Friday on the road. And a couple of final thoughts for you on this Wednesday edition in our new studios. It's 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Welcome to Wawa. We're open 24/7, so when the sun goes down but everyone's still up, Wawa has your late night fuel. Headed to a hangout? Stop in for snacks and sodas. Binge your favorite shows with burgers and hoagies. Gather around the table with garlic knots and a cheesy Wawa pizza. Or just chill on the couch with fries and whatever milkshake sounds good. Your night just got a whole lot tastier. Freshly made burgers, pizza, and so much more. When you got a late night craving, you got a Wawa. Price and participation may vary by store.
The Butler basketball season is rolling along. Don't miss your chance to get in on the action. Your next chance to get to Hinkle Fieldhouse to cheer on your Butler Bulldogs is Monday, December 22nd, when the Dogs take on NJIT at 2 p.m. A weekday matinee. Come see the sunlight shine through the windows at iconic Hinkle Fieldhouse. With most students home for break, there are some great unique seating options, so buy your tickets now at butlersports.com/buy tickets. Be a part of Hinkle Magic and make Hinkle your second home this season.
Massive melting is what's going on right now, and you need the services, I bet you, because you got to be clog free. This water is going to go someplace, and if your drains around your home, and I mean any drains, might be clogged, that could compromise your home, your foundation. You don't want that. Make sure the drains are clear with the best in plumbing. That's Lance and his local team at LD Smith Plumbing. 317-927-7186. Clearing the drains. It'll be job number 1 around here because this melting is going to continue. Hey, make sure you go with the best in plumbing. That's Lance and LD Smith Plumbing. 317-927-7186. Online, that's ldsmithplumbing.com today.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been your one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Christmas Nights of Lights Drive-Thru Holiday Spectacular returns to the Indiana State Fairgrounds November 7th through December 31st. Synchronized to your favorite Christmas tunes and a million sparkling lights. Enjoy a dazzling winter wonderland for the whole family. Reserve your spot at ChristmasNightsOfLights.com.
The Fan cares, and if you or someone you care about needs food assistance, we have resources for you, including food distribution locations with an interactive map. Also, learn how you can make a difference for friends and neighbors in need, all at 1075thefan.com.
With Wawa's Rewards program, you can rack up points on the items you buy every day, even fuel. Boost your totals with a breakfast sizzly. Score points with your morning coffee. With Wawa Rewards, points put the power in your hands. You can choose to redeem them for what you love most, like an iced latte for an extra pick-me-up or your lunchtime hoagie. Download the Wawa app today. When you gotta get rewarded, you gotta Wawa. Fuel rewards not available in New Jersey or were legally prohibited. See full details at wawarewards.com. Price of participation may vary by store.
Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Excuse me, sir. There's been a little problem in the cockpit.
The cockpit? What is it?
It's the little room in the front of the plane where the pilots sit. But that's not important right now.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Win Schulers. What's that sound right there? That's weird. Did you hear that?
I did not know.
There's something weird happening in here right now. Is this happening over above me right here? No? Hi. Well, hell, I'm glad it should be glad it's the end of the show then, because, yeah, something's weird coming through my headphones right now.
I'm not sure. I haven't touched
All right,
anything
then.
or changed anything.
That's what as long as it seems like there's a bit of an echo, maybe a slight delay.
You might
going
be
on
getting,
here.
could be getting reverb or something. Maybe it's me. I don't know.
Well, great. I'm glad it's the end of the show, much like everybody else is glad it's the end of the show out there, I'm sure. Hey, by the way, tomorrow, we're going to be live downtown Coach's Tavern, one of our favorite spots. I know you get the Pacers and the Knicks at the Fieldhouse coming up tomorrow night, and we'll take you into that too. But also we'll have our picks of the week coming up too. 4 o'clock hour, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. I think you guys know the story we normally do on every Thursday. It is an absolute blast. I should remind you, as we start to get to the end of the year, and then put together a list for our tavern tour stops and live shows coming up on the calendar year of 2026. If you want us to stop by at your place, or maybe if you're out there for your favorite place, just let me know, and I'll send it down the road. I mean, I know my man Calvin Fitch, there's a place up in Kokomo where he wants us to go, and I will tell you that some of this is out of the 93.5 and 107.5, the Fan signal reach, which really doesn't take much, but it's out of the reach. But it hasn't mattered. We've gone to Columbus. That was a big show. People came out. Bloomington, that was a big show. People came out. I think we're going to be going to Lafayette. I think ideally we're going to be going to Lafayette prior to a Boilermaker basketball game. Kokomo would be just like that as well. So what the hell? Yeah, let us know where you would like us to go, because we love doing live shows and we love being on the road. So just tell us, especially if we've never been there. And I'll tell you this now, because as we end the year, they'll be putting together that list for everything coming up to start 2026. And I will give them that information. But tomorrow, downtown Coach's Tavern with us, me and Brent Halverson. That is our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots coming up on the show tomorrow. Friday, we're going to be on Pendleton Pike. That's Whiskey Business. Bud Light Blue Friday, Monday Night Football tickets for you to win. And again, that's coming up on Friday. Whiskey Business off Pendleton Pike. We'll see what this sounds like, James. I don't know how the phone's going to sound right here, considering how it sounds in my headphones. This is going to be weird. 239-1070. My man Fulton, who called me yesterday on the phone at Twin Peaks, joins us now at 239-1070. Hi, Fulton.
Hello, John. How are you?
Hello, Fulton. I'm great.
That's good. I had my physical therapy today.
You did. I heard that you rocked the heck out of the ukulele. at Pat Sullivan's place.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well done, buddy. Well
How's
done.
the new studio going for you guys?
Yeah, well, it's an adventure. It's a damn adventure. I'm glad we kind of discovered this whole new thing that's going on right now, because I don't know if I could do an entire show with it. So it's an adventure, though.
If you need help, let me know.
I know. Well, listen. When we go to technology and somebody that can fix a studio, you're first on the list to call right there, buddy. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I sure am. And I never been to Bullseye Event Group yet. I haven't been there for my first time.
So are you available on Monday?
I am.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't have any passes to give away right now, but if you call back tomorrow, we might be able to work out something. Okay?
Sounds great. And tell Brett I said hi. And
I will.
You might want to come to the Applebee's in Noblesville. They've got a bar there.
They do. The Applebee's in Noblesville has a bar waiting on me.
Yep, and it's got new food now.
New food at Applebee's? What do they got on the menu at Applebee's, Fulton? What's new there?
They've got some fried pickles. Fried pickle fries, and they got a grilled cheeseburger sandwich with tomatoes.
All right. Fulton, thank you for the call. Hey, shout out to Applebee's in Noblesville, according to Fulton. Hey, Jason Ellis says, how about Clayton, Indiana? The Clacks Shack. See, I love these ideas, man. Yeah, keep coming, too, because the end of the year is a great opportunity because it's fresh on the mind of everybody. I know Nicole right now with Heaven Hill and Brent are putting together a list. We'll give that a try. Hey, James, great job out of you. Hey, thank you, Matthew Graves, the head coach of Indiana State. He is back, getting healthy, feeling good. That is great to hear. Danny Kanell of CBS. Tom Crean of ESPN and Peacock, and Kevin Bowen of The Morning Show. Podcast 1075thefan.com. Tommy S., Brent Halverson, me tomorrow. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul, Tequila Shots. Coach's Tavern downtown. Let's all reconvene there at 3. Have a great night.
If it's happening with the Indianapolis Colts.
Touchdown for the Colts, and it's Josh Downs.
Then it's happening on the Fan.
It's It's good from 60. Blake Groupie picked off by the Seahawks. Final score, it's Seattle 18 and the Indianapolis Colts 16.
Sports Radio 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The official home of the Indy Sports Fan.
This time of year, it's about the snacking, and you want to do some elite-level snacking, right? Whether you're watching football, maybe it's a little bit of hoop, but seriously, on a cracker, a chip, a vegetable. How about a burger? The spreadability of Win Schuler's and their fantastic cheese spreads from original cheddar, sharp cheddar, bacon and cheddar, and jalapeno pepper. The spreadability of Win Schuler's, you can find it. Win Schuler's, Gordon's Food Service, and your favorite Meijer location across the state of Indiana.
This is Chris with Absolute Comfort. We just want to thank you and your family for business that you've passed to us this year. Our families appreciate everything that you do for us, and we just want to let you know that if you have needs for your man cave or your she shed or whatever the thing is for a family member that you love, we just ask that you give us a call, and we've got some different ideas for you. Have a Merry Christmas.
Absolute Comfort is your Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless dealer.
Sat Vai Band, featuring Joe Satriani and Steve Vai.
I want to play my guitar.
Two living legends, one band. Surfing with the Hydra 2026 Tour. Saturday, May 9th, Everwise Amphitheater at White River State Park with special guest, Animals as leaders. Reserved seats are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Sat Vai Band, an electrifying sonic powerhouse, part of the Jack Daniels Concert Series.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information.
Is Cialis Daily really better than Viagra?
If you like spontaneity, the answer is yes.